hello.
At your music studio.
The place to be.
Hi. It's like
With the man in the place.
studio.
Your music.
This is your music.
This is our good friend.
I love it. I like
Michael
the name.
Coppola.
Hello.
Coppola. However you want to say it. He says his name like 4 different ways.
There's variations.
And there's Kells. There's
Variations.
Michael from high school.
Is that mainland Italy or is it
Northern.
North and South.
North and South mixed?
We're in a beautiful little studio here, having fun with the man, the
Yes,
myth.
yes, we are.
I'm
Yes,
very
so-
excited.
You should be.
I can't
Jesse's ecstatic about this. I got my Mexico coffee.
wait. You know,
It's really Mexican coffee?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's Cyrus. Hashtag Cyrus.
and it smells like chocolate.
And
It's got all
chocolate.
types of
And
chocolate.
this
notes
shit
in
will
there. It's
fucking
really nice.
send you flying.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why I made a pot for you today, and then I actually didn't make a pot for me, but I was going to I do 1 scoop of caffeine, 3 scoops
He ain't gonna ruin
decaf.
my coffee with this shit.
Because when
I
he
will
brought
murder
this
him.
over and we were working on that tune,
Yeah.
we were fucking flying down here.
I like it.
He was
just-
doing the bite Michael pace.
I'm listening.
bouncing
Bro,
around the fucking-
that's awesome, bro.
And I'm already like,
I like this. What's happening here?
So I did not have this coffee this morning.
Oh no.
You know, no.
I just did.
He's naturally energetic. Oh, I can't
Yeah,
wait.
he's about
That's
to
We're gonna
crazy.
get a Kit Kat studded JP today, man. That's gonna be.
No weed needs to be involved for that. Remember, that's a weed thing.
Oh man! Oh, you gave me a nice pole to kick in the middle of this. It's gonna be great. So for Christmas this year, my wife and I we bought my cousin. It's this like I forget what it's called, but it's monkey poop coffee. Right? So these monkeys eat these coffee beans and then they poop it out.
Oh,
and
it's
then
that
they
the
extract-
little cat thing.
And it apparently
expensive shit,
it's
though.
fucking expensive.
Yeah.
It's really expensive. He said it's absolutely delicious.
I heard.
And you apparently
You had some, huh?
I didn't have it. I'm not eating shit coffee. I have
Oh.
Austin Powers stuck in my head. It's a bit nutty. You know, like
It is shit, Austin.
It is shit, Austin.
I just want to know who was the first guy to have this cup of coffee.
Yo,
like,
I don't know.
Who was like, yo, you know what?
Someone was desperate and was like,
Give it to the
"Yo, I
monkey."
see some beans in that shit.
Yeah, like, I'm like, how did somebody even know to do that?
Someone always figures some shit out, man.
I know, but like,
Pun
someone
intended
went
or
through
no
monkey poop
pun
to make
intended?
coffee.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't even mean to
okay.
do that. It's
See that?
No,
Nah.
no.
Do you guys ever see the movie with I think it's Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman, and I think it's called The Bucket List.
Yes.
Yes.
And one of the things on the list was to laugh uncontrollably until you cry. Was one of the things on the list. It's a very nice part of the movie. They're laughing hysterically and crying over the fact that Morgan Freeman was telling him that the coffee he's been drinking is shit. And so Jack Nicholson comes in and reads to him finally, scenes later, right, comes back in and he reads to him what the coffee is. And sure enough, it's what you're describing.
Oh,
the
my
shit
shit
coffee.
coffee.
And
Oh,
they
no
are
kidding.
Wow.
laughing because he always had to
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
this specific coffee.
No, that's funny.
The
Yeah.
quality.
The quality,
Morgan Freeman's
yeah.
like, you're literally drinking shit. Like earlier on in the movie.
It
No,
is
apparently,
shit.
yeah. Apparently, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good for you. It's like it gets you all.
Nah, pass.
I'm good.
I think
I'll try it.
Pass on that.
I tried it.
I'm good
I'll
with
try
my
it.
coffee boots coffee.
He was. we did a show at Coffee Boots 2 weeks ago,
I
and this
know.
motherfucker was gonna bring in 7-Eleven coffee.
I took because I bust them all the time. I'm just like, I'm a 7-Eleven guy.
Gene
Give
came
me
in.
Give me my almond crema and let me go on with my day. And Ronnie gets so mad, because it. Don't get me wrong. When I want a nice cup of coffee, you go to the booth. You go to coffee booths.
But
But
booths.
at 5:30 in the morning when I'm, running out and it's going to be freezing.
He's not open at
not
5:30.
open.
You
So
know
I'm
damn
going
well.
to the Sebs.
Yeah.
Little almond milk. How you doing?
How you doing?
Little terrible buttered bagel, and I'm off on the
Oh,
road.
this is the
See you
worst.
later.
I don't know how
I
you
should
just-
review
That sounds
coffees
horrible.
in your thing. You should always have a different coffee every show and do a segment
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
reviewing it.
Just add a hint of chicory to make it delicious.
Yeah.
I made that. I'm
This
down,
one's
I'm down with
6'2",
that.
7'1",
I could do coffee.
This one is from...
Yeah. Why not?
Are you even a coffee guy?
Not really.
Yeah, you don't.
But I would drink it.
He drinks Ronnie's.
What if they
But Ronnie's coffees are like fucking
Desserts.
desserts in a cup.
Yeah, Sundays in a cup.
That's the Pop-Tart one?
Yes, it's the one when you had the strawberry Pop-Tart one.
Pop-Tart. Fire.
Yeah, huh?
Fire.
Yeah. So I found out after that episode
Fire is
with Ronnie, just
fire.
to come
That's a
clear,
segue.
come clean with everyone. The wife does not like pecan pie coffee. It's someone in her office that does. I'm like, yeah, she says it's her favorite thing. She waits for it. And Ronnie was like, yeah, I
No.
don't think so. I go,
Rice Krispies.
trust me, it's my wife. He's like, yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Well, he was right. She was like, yeah, no, I don't like that one at all. Rice Krispies,
Rice Krispies is hers,
the
yeah.
one. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Rice Krispies.
yeah, she loves the Rice Krispie treat. It's
Nice.
apparently fire. It is fire.
Fire.
Fire. Speaking of fire,
Fire.
you've been on fire. So why don't you tell us a little about yourself there, Michael?
Yeah.
Michael. Whatever you fucking want to be.
So I have recently built a new facility inside of mine and my wife's home.
Oh, good move.
And I'm
Very
super
good
stoked
move.
about it. That's where we are today. I love it. I'm here down here a little too much maybe sometimes. I've been in music my whole life. I have such a warming connection specifically with Oogie because back in the day we used to do a lot of shows
What's
together.
the band? What's the band? Mention the band, baby.
The Senate. The Senate.
Oh, that's a good name.
I knew you would like that.
That's tough.
Shout out Blanco, Benny B.
Yes, yes.
Oh, rest in peace, baby.
That's right. And I just have always had like this, emotional camaraderie. And every time I hang out with them, I end up hugging them. And, we have these deep moments where we look into each other's eyes.
And we make out.
And
I think that's what he's trying to get to, this
Yes.
fucking guy.
So I'm just excited to be a part of the podcast that you guys have been kicking off the last couple of times and just kind of getting this thing on YouTube and picking up all of the popularity that I know is going to happen for the podcast. I myself will have discussions with the podcast with JP. I haven't really gotten into podcasts, and even Chad too, where they're like, yo, check out this one. You got to get into it more. You got to check this out.
Missing a lot
And
of
so
shit, bro.
I still am late on the game of the podcast, but I have two very, very dear friends of mine that do podcasts, yourselves, and then another very talented buddy of mine who does videography and photography, and he kicks butt in his own podcast. How was that? That was good?
That was-
Should I shut up now? Is there like a code of like a wink when you shut up?
No. No, yeah.
Not on this show, man.
we said we need
Yeah.
to get that Dave Chappelle wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Because I didn't know. I'm like, let me paste
No,
this thing
you're
out.
good.
and
What's your buddy's
fluently-
podcast, though?
Read Between the Lyrics. It's with
Read
him and
Between
his
the
wife.
Lyrics.
Very, very
Good
talented
name.
couple. And they listen
I'm
to
listening.
songs or whatever, and they pick out a couple of things there.
Ooh, I
and
love
then
this.
two of them will talk about the perspectives of the lyric. And what's really cool
Go on.
is
I like this.
a handful of times, without them knowing it, they have different views on the lyric.
Sure.
And it's really cool to
Yeah,
kind of
that's
see.
awesome.
That's
awesome.
So I have caught a little bit of it
Between
with
the lyrics.
me and Heather have caught like
It
a
is.
little bit of it. And in one section that we were actually watching, sure enough, before they revealed what they thought about it, her and I were talking about two different ways of it as well.
yeah. That's
So it was
cool.
like pretty cool. I was like, oh man, this
What kind of music they usually do?
so far I think it's been like a lot of soul, R&B, and some Christian tunes.
Cool.
Yeah. But like they do everything, and they will do everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just literally, and if they're a very, very eclectic couple, like some of their favorite artists, or at least I know Marvin, and then Marvin and Amanda, they like Tori Kelly, and she's very, very musically talented. And then one of an artist that Marvin reveres is Jacob Collier, I think is how you say it.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this guy, Jacob Collier?
Yeah.
does that name
Absolute
sound familiar?
savant.
Yeah.
Absolute
No,
savant.
You've seen he had oh no, maybe not. That maybe it was, I think actually it was Phil that sent me a video. It was YouTube of him.
Keys
super
player,
talented.
yeah,
super,
just
super talented.
absolute
dude.
savant.
Yeah.
So they on this podcast they
name?
do everything.
Get that dude
Phil and
Dimesh.
Chad sent me something.
That dude
Read between
Dimesh
the
from Russia but looks Asian.
Sorry, I thought I was on something.
The man could. You want to talk about a kid who could sing?
Who is
little
this now?
motherfucker? I don't know. He's just some dude from Kirkakis.
You know what really?
Something Stan.
A kid that got me, and it also has a political tone to it as well. But the kid that was on Instagram, that one kid, I just want to live.
Oh,
Man,
which one is that?
Oh my gosh, this kid's got to be like 10,
the
11
one on
years
Instagram
old.
isn't that the I'm a black kid or whatever that with black child? What was it? you know.
Now
you've
that
had to
is a
have seen it,
voice
bro.
of my
Come on.
friend of mine.
What do you gotta look at Gene for?
Because
like,
I figured
I
he would
should-
know. I think he's shared it before.
I didn't go to my black
kid.
support group yet. I don't know. we didn't discuss this yet.
Kind of,
Well, now to help out my
you're
friend, it's
the
'cause
Long
you're kind of
Island-
the Instagram guy.
I know.
All right.
But
So.
a black child? What?
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
like-
What am I doing? I mean, it's.
I can't sing
fantastic.
like
We should
that little
pull it up
motherfucker.
At some point.
What time is it? Gene's not awake.
Yeah,
kid can sing.
Nah, I am now. There's a black kid running around. Yeah, I should know.
You absolutely should know about
It's a
this. He blew up.
showstopper. It stops you in your
Really?
tracks, and a lot of people have made like little TikToks making new beats to what he's singing.
But I just, you know, I just
because he
listened
did
to-
acapella.
I just listened
it
to the
was a
first
poem,
time,
though, right?
Oh,
Was it a poem?
probably. So he was singing. He was freestyle singing words of a poem.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different one. It was
Nah,
a boy, it was
man.
a
Yeah,
young
look,
boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah, see, I remember this.
it'll stop you in your tracks. It's just like wow, what the
look for
heck?
it.
That
What did
is
you
a
just
voice.
hear you
on-
said?
No,
I want to see this.
Absolutely.
I'm always late, but I just, what's it called? That girl Naomi, the tennis player.
Yeah.
She dates a rapper. Apparently he's nice. Apparently Eminem shouted him out. YBN Corbet or something like that.
Nope. Nothing rings.
I'm shocked. Like I,
Yeah, no,
I,
got nothing.
and
You haven't heard of him, and they haven't heard of him.
no, I didn't know. But what's funny is
I haven't heard of him.
Eminem was like, I saw an interview and Eminem was like, because he had that on his page, the guy, and he was like, Eminem was like, yeah, I like to see up and coming guys like this guy, and I'm like,
We're kind of old heads
Wow.
now, though.
that's what I'm saying. Like, how do I? Yeah, we gotta catch
Like,
up.
I don't really know.
That's what I realized. I'm like, I don't know.
I
anything.
try to keep up on like what's up and coming and fresh. You know what I mean? But even still, like I feel like
And the
I
guy
catch
was
a
good.
lot of it from my little
Yada
cousin,
yada yada yada. Sorry.
You know,
Who's
I
that?
catch a lot of it from my
I know
little
that song.
cousin.
What is
I
that?
constantly have to check myself on. You need to be open to this, Mike. You need to listen to this,
Why?
and then that feeling of just like, what the fuck is this?
Right, yo.
Like I'm constantly doing that. Like it's constantly is two things
Yes.
talking to each other of like, dude, you need to stop and you need to listen to this.
Always.
And then it's just like, man, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Bro, I tried listening to Lil Baby like 15 times. People.
Yeah, YBN Corbet. I'm not crazy.
Nice.
No, I just
Nice.
I don't.
No, we just never heard of him.
Heard of him.
Yeah, he dates that tennis star,
Okay.
Naomi, and apparently he's a big
that
deal.
the-
Yeah, he was on a Super Bowl commercial. With not only was it a Super Bowl commercial, he was in a Super Bowl commercial with Jonah Hill and Scorsese.
Maybe that's when I fell asleep
missed
during
that
the
one.
Super Bowl this year.
Oh, did you? He was
Third
in it
quarter, I was out.
because yeah.
Sleep too.
Sleep.
I feel so.
I didn't because I was winning money start at the end of the third quarter. 1:35.
Nah, I snooze at
I
that.
hit a good box. Let me tell you.
One
something.
fucking box I bought.
Smoked a
JP's
box.
like the luckiest dude I know.
One
He
box.
wins almost every year in fantasy. He's always hitting the Super Bowl box.
let's not throw fantasy
hey,
in with luck.
I just happened to walk into PC Richards and was handed a brand new refrigerator. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
How come I keep missing these situations? I won $3,500 once. All of a sudden, I'm getting refrigerators. Fucking guy. It's fucked up.
Insane.
Oh, this guy.
You just won a free TV. Anytime I think of anything winning and how I'd never win on these things, I always think about elementary school with the freaking jelly bean jar, and they never came fucking close.
Oh, the one where you have to guess the
Never
number?
fucking came. Yeah.
Oh my god, I always thought that was stupid. I'm like, is this a math thing?
Yeah.
Because I never understood what they wanted you to do.
They just want you to guess the
Guess.
number.
Oh, I thought like,
How many
like you
jelly
have to
beans are
round
in
it
this
and
jar?
You'll say like 400.
Never
Like actually,
fucking won.
it's been like 3,000. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Excuse me?
Where did I get 400 from?
You start counting the sides, like, okay, there's 10 this
Yeah,
way.
no, that doesn't work.
And a round is 8. Okay, so a diameter of...
Doesn't work.
The diameter. If you take the circumference area.
I think I know what else Jesse's talking about.
What?
I went to an Oogie show when I wasn't in the band, and we put money in for a raffle.
we go.
My ex did,
But,
and I won a guitar signed by them.
yeah.
That's pretty funny.
My God, that is like really
Yo,
freaking funny.
How great is that?
That's really great.
So when he gets to it, like, you should probably just sign it yourself. You know? Like, look.
I almost
wasn't in
feel
the
like
band.
not
Wait a
only
minute,
were
did
you
other
guys
people know
laughing,
that
but
they
was the
won?
whole...
Did other people know that he won?
Yeah.
It was in the crowd.
Was the whole place
Did it?
laughing? Like,
I
what
would've been
the
like, this is
fuck?
A
rigged.
lot of people were, yeah.
I would've been
I
like,
mean, it
this
was
is
also
rigged.
signed by Johnny Cosmic and K-Bong from
Okay.
Stick Figure. So, I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did you go
no,
up and do a
yeah,
song
I
that
will
day
say,
or anything? Like, afterwards?
Johnny Cosmic is awesome. And his production is fucking
I'm not
crushing.
talking
No, I'm
shit
just
about
saying.
the production.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying,
He's just mentioning it. I don't know mention it.
Yeah.
Johnny,
Yeah.
Brandon sent me the next Bumpin' Ugly single that they did with Johnny, and
Probably sounds amazing.
Oh, it's dope.
It's a great name.
It's dope. He captures that dub real well. Real well.
You know, the dub.
Yeah.
You know when you heard that song, it sounds like all the other songs? It's that song. Yeah.
Okay.
JP's such a hater now. He hates it.
No, I don't hate reggae. I love reggae rock. I love
Right.
what Bumpin' does. I love what Trop does. I love what Ballyhoo does. It's just the other shit. It's like I heard another Stick Figure song, and it sounded like the 14 other Stick Figure songs that I heard, and I was like, this is a good song.
I kind of get what he's saying.
It's a good song,
I
but
totally
that
understand what he's
totally
saying.
could be on the first album. This is the fourth album.
Sure.
That could be on the first, the second, the third. It could all be one long album. And that's another thing that I felt about Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine was amazing.
Interesting.
But you could take every single one of
Yeah,
their songs
sure.
and make one album, they could be like, yeah, sure. You would
Right.
have no fucking clue.
Now, do you think it's just they're not creative, or they just try to recreate the same things that were successful?
I don't know.
It's a couple things.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's a couple of things. It's not necessarily being creative or whatever, but think about having to do something new in the same thing that you're being bought for.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a hard.
So
like,
that's why
place
they
to
do
be
it.
in. I mean,
I'm
you
sure-
know what? You could. Yeah.
I'm
But this
sure
goes-
labels have
Yes.
something to do about that. You know, like anyone that's pulling the financial strings, where
but-
they'll come in and they'll say,
But how do you
no,
make-
no, no,
We need more
to
of this.
Recreate this one.
Yeah.
we're gonna go down
But
this angle.
That never,
you know?
that rarely works. I mean,
Well, think about it. There's a
think
no-win.
about-
It's a no-win situation for bands. If you change a lot, I wish they would like go back to the way they were.
Yeah.
And if you stay the same, it's like, that's
Like I
the
just
same.
because like you brought up Rage, like Rage had their moment, and they tried somebody. Who were they with? Whatever I think, whatever record label they were with.
Yeah, I have
tried
no
to
idea.
have them make a comeback because they were like the political anti-establishment
perfect,
band,
and it would've
they
worked.
tried, and it didn't work. You know, like there
No,
were
they were
people.
supposed to- they had a whole
There
tour.
were people.
They had a whole
they were
tour.
stoked, but I
They
mean,
had a whole tour plan.
I
What
don't
are you
know.
talking about?
Maybe I'm just a Rage hater.
It's interesting.
Yeah, you
know,
are because
I
they,
am.
that was going to be gigantic, and
Bro,
COVID stopped all of it. It
Listen,
never
I'm
happened.
all for freedom of speech, but for some reason, when they burned the American flag on stage,
Okay,
I was
fair
just
enough.
like, yeah, fuck
I
you
didn't
guys.
see now that I wish I didn't hear
I'm
that.
over that
I
one.
wish
Yeah,
I
they were-
didn't hear
they-
that
they
'cause
were-
I liked Rage, man.
No, that was back in the night. I want to say it was '94 Woodstock. or
Okay,
something
during
like
that time of like,
Yeah.
all right, might be a little different take on it then. Might be a little take because I feel like that one, that whole era of time was just like, it was almost actually kind of is trendy today too. Both
No, maybe I'm
sides are
wrong.
still
Maybe
trendy.
it
might
wasn't.
be the
Were
same
they
thing.
even relevant in '94? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
That was-
That's when they were big, right? That's,
Yeah, man.
That mid '90s.
Yeah.
Not late '90s. Okay. Yeah.
It
So yeah, I
went
want to say
through.
it
It
was
went
then.
through to the late '90s, and then they kind
Because didn't
of.
they have a Woodstock '99? Didn't they
Yeah,
do one
that
then?
was a
'Cause
very-
it might have been that one then.
That was
was
when
very
DMX was
unmemorable.
in
yeah,
front of a
but they thought the
million
world was
people.
going to end. It was Y2K. It was Y2K.
They were just like, fuck it, burn it.
I don't
Who
blame
cares?
them. Remember, the next day wasn't even going to happen.
Well, the world's gonna end anyway, bro.
When's that?
5G.
Oh yeah, that is sad.
So you have a view.
Are they still burning down towers?
What's the 5G thing all about?
Because they burned down
You
towers.
know what I see?
People are out of their minds.
People were pulling down
Oh, yeah.
towers
yeah.
Why? What's going on
because
with the 5G?
people. Okay.
Well, no, now 5G is creating coronavirus.
Yes.
That's that's the most
fucked up.
recent
The
one that I
problem
heard.
is that every time the cell phones go to the next level, people go crazy and they assume that there's some backlash to it. And then when something randomly happens, like a corona,
Right.
they just associate it.
It's
Bang.
going to give us cancer.
What
it's
happens
gonna-
is
yeah.
someone knows technical jargon, and then they put their craziness with the technical jargon, and then the one dude who's like in the back going like, "Well, I was in the army and I worked with all different frequencies and stuff, and that doesn't make sense." But the one dude
And then
sounds
you get-
smarter, so that guy who was in the army is just stupid,
And then-
and that's what happens. And shit has to burn down towers.
And then you get the guy in the front seat of his car. Be careful of these 5G towers. Blah, blah, blah. You're all gonna die. Why would Americans have 5G? Does that make sense to you? 5G. What letter comes before G? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm
That's
like,
what they
my
do.
man, get out the car now.
Get out the car.
Now.
Get out the car.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
I look at 5G as a nice financial opportunity now.
I agree, and I think
Like they're paying good money for real estate to erect towers.
Yep.
And now, do you see what the newest ones are? I don't know why they're doing this. It's ridiculous.
fake trees?
But they're trying to. Although actually,
Some of them look bad.
what did they? I think it was Elon Musk and Joe Rogan talked about it, right? And they showed
Oh, yeah,
pictures
they
of
did
someone.
too.
And there was a palm tree one. So they made the 5G tower look like a palm tree, and it actually looked real really good. I was like,
Wow.
oh, that's kind of cool. But they were like making them look like pine trees to try and like camouflage
That's
them.
helpful.
So they don't.
Absolutely helpful.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah, but
I
they
don't
made a
mind
good
it.
point.
You're
It's
giving
like
someone a job with that. Why do it though? Like, I don't find it offensive. Maybe some people do. You know, like
From what I've
I
seen,
don't
they're
know.
pretty cool. But they need to be. There needs to be more of them.
sure,
Okay.
they should like pixel them. You know, make them very pixelated. You know, like
So as you're
Just to
driving
be-
by, they're like fuzzy.
Right, exactly. So you're like, what is?
Yeah.
You know, like
Can you
just
imagine?
slowly morph into that digital world, but
should
like
make-
we're creating it.
They should be Transformers.
Well,
so
you heard
it's-
about the Lego house?
No.
We talked briefly last week, or 2 weeks ago, I want to say, of on Long Island, right? They did these guys that I know, Charles Weinrob, handsome home buyer, great dude. He was a part of it. They built the first 3D printed home on in Riverhead.
Oh, in Riverhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so then, like, further
It's not
research
actual
into
Legos,
this-
by the way. I don't know.
No. But further research into this, I found this guy. Actually, my father-in-law sent me the video.
Never
But
mind.
this guy created like big ass. He built and got injection molds, made and sent to him. So it cost him a little money to start up, but he made giant Lego pieces and built a house out of it. Fucking super
and
dope.
it's-
He's not,
Sturdy?
he's not married. There's no way he's married.
he's got a good
There's no wife that goes, yeah, do it.
Build me a house of
Fucking-
Lego.
Either he's not married or they met at a Lego.
Yeah.
They met
Yeah, right.
exactly. Lego
There are
world is-
people
Yeah.
who are very serious about that Lego
That
building.
is true, man.
That show.
I tell you what,
It was
I
that
have
show,
a deep
bro. You
got a
disdain for
Lego
Legos
room,
right
bro.
now.
A what?
Deep
You're stepping on him.
Oh,
He's stepping on him. That's
I
what
had to take apart the whole vacuum yesterday because what was clogging up the tube?
A Lego.
A Lego 4 fucking intertwined,
And
the
his,
dog
and his son
hair weaved
destroyed
through
his
it.
his fucking his ukulele.
Oh yeah, we're eating dinner, right? We're finishing up dinner. Me and the wife are talking about the construction of the new house, and all of a sudden, just around the corner, Lincoln comes out with my ukulele in his hand, mangled.
Just fucking bridge snapped
Bridge
off.
snapped, ripped the guts out, like the
Oh my
the
gosh.
internal electronics out.
What?
I was just like, you got to be kidding me.
And he laughing at all or no?
Oh no,
Laughing.
he was even like. That's why like there is a part of me that believes that he pulled it out like that. But when I went into my room, my ukulele case was on the ground in front of my wife's dresser. So what I think happened was he probably jumped on it, or tried to get something on the dresser. He may have, and it may have just popped inside, and then he pulled it out and just happened to
That's how your last one broke. Well, you stepped on it, right? The last one?
No, Melissa stepped on it pregnant, actually.
So her and Lincoln stepped on it. That's the second one he stepped
That
on.
one I take full responsibility for because it was dark in the living room and I stupidly left it leaning
Like,
up against my coffee table. So I take full
You're
responsibility.
2 down now. You're 2 down.
I'm 3 down.
You're 3 down.
That's 3 down.
But this one I'm pissed about because this was like my expensive Mitchell concert.
You're not
uke. Like I
locking 'em up.
record with that uke. Like
Lock him up.
You know what? Don't
Yeah.
get another one until we build the studio, and then you just keep it in there.
Ah.
Lock
I mean, that
it
is
way
the
up.
problem.
Lock
is
it
that
I
up.
heard
my house-
about this too,
My house
by
is
the
so
way.
small, I have nowhere to put it. Yeah, dude, you're gonna help us, right? You're gonna
Absolutely.
go down and
Absolutely. This stuff is fun.
We're building
to
a
me.
fucking
I
podcast.
would love that.
Building
I
a
would love that.
podcast studio in it.
I
So
was talking
prepare.
I'm
to
excited
some of the
about that.
guys about the attic that's going to go in the main part of my house. So it's looking like we're probably going to get that second room too for like a podcast studio or some sort of film.
If we're gonna be able to do it, let's just make one big giant room, and then on one half of the room is for podcasts and stuff. That way it's
Well, you
movable.
kind of can't because it's a 4-square colonial that the
Fucking
town
4
is.
damn colonials.
It's that the town is making me demo completely because I can't find original records of the property to prove that it was a living dwelling, right? A livable dwelling.
Damn.
So what I'm getting is the fire of 1957 wiped out all the original records of houses on the island,
Why
right?
is that your fault?
It's not, but I can't find original records proving, even though this cottage on my property
Which
has
I
its
would've
own
rented
water
out.
main,
I would have
has
rented the
its
shit out of
own
that.
water main, ran from the town, has its own electrical panel and meter from PSEG. So explain to me how, but good old Crookhaven.
No, that's a really great points there. That's not
Yeah.
even like bullshit points.
No, yeah, when we tried
it's
to, we've been
obvious this
trying to
thing was
argue it, and they're
known.
like, nope.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's
Nope.
that's a bunch of
Got to demo it. It has to become
That's
storage.
insane.
So whatever. I'm gonna turn the bottom part into
A garage and a workspace.
a little workshop, like wood shop in the back area.
It's fantastic.
I'm gonna hopefully keep the plumbing upstairs, and then have a bathroom.
Even if you have to fucking pull it apart, we'll just build another. Just keep the pipes there.
Guys, we're literally on
Totally.
the podcast right now.
So fucking what?
They love
these
it.
guys.
They love it. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did not hear that or
yeah.
see that.
Fuck them.
Fire.
Yeah. Word. You know what? I'll fight them. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
All right,
I pay my taxes. Oh, but my whole point was that when you walk up the stairs, because it's a 4-square colonial, right? It's the staircase goes through the middle of the house, and then once you get up there, it's like traditional Cape style. So there's just a bedroom on one side, bedroom on the other side. You know, so there wouldn't necessarily be able to
Gotcha.
be one
I gotcha.
big room.
Gotcha. Never mind.
you know?
All right. Either way.
And then there's 2 walk-in closets in both of them. So I was thinking
Nice.
that one walk-in could turn into a vocal booth.
A booth, yeah.
You know, but well, we can talk about
Well,
it.
hold on. You know, when you think about the
This is-
2 rooms
this is
and
his baby.
the closets and stuff like that, you know, that's cool to kind of get it going. But ultimately, you know, taking those walls down, as long as it's okay to do that, and the closets down, and just kind of like redoing, I think you guys would really, really like enjoy that process. Not necessarily being stuck to something that is there. And on top of that, think about this place for a second. Like, it looks like it's 3 rooms, right? It looks like it's 3 rooms, but in actuality, it's a basement and it's 1 room, right? And we're doing the podcast here. You may not necessarily need separate areas.
Oh no, for sure.
You may be able to.
So the
integrate.
idea of the other room was to be able to drop like a green screen, start being able to do our own
that's
videos
great. Yeah, do your
in-house.
photos.
You know,
Also
especially
renting it out
'cause
to other people
and
who
then,
want a podcast.
Be able to rent it out to other podcasters that don't have an area. We can record you. You know, we can upload onto a platform for you, and essentially just starting kind of like
That's pretty cool.
like a little media,
That's very
a little
cool,
media
actually.
company
That's
out
very,
of
very cool.
you know. Hey,
So,
just,
and the ergo, you would need a little bit of separation for those things.
Right.
Yes.
So
Okay.
in case, you know, like let's say JP has someone in,
Yeah.
you know, recording, or he's doing mixing.
Yeah,
or
yeah, you're right.
And you have something else
Sound
You're
going
right.
on in the
barrier,
other room.
someone is recording.
Didn't think of that.
You know,
Fact.
yeah.
We also had another first on this podcast.
Yeah.
First time someone used the word ergo on the podcast.
There we go. That,
So I'm excited. We're getting sophisticated on this damn
There we
thing.
go.
Defended and
hate you.
unfriended.
I probably didn't even use it the right way.
I don't know, man, but
I think you smashed it.
Yeah, it was smooth.
Knocked out
It
of
was
the
a smooth
park. All right.
usage.
Yo,
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna take that as disrespectful.
funny. So can I switch it up real quick just for some chuckles?
Specificity.
Specificity.
I like this. The symbolism, the symbology.
Symbology. You mean
Symbolical.
Symbolism.
What's the chuckles, Jesse?
Trilogy.
Come on, chuckles.
Trilogy.
Okay, so
hear this.
you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You ready for the
I'm
Trump
locked
news?
and loaded.
You ready for the Trump news, bro? Because you know it's boring without him. You know it's
I do
boring.
miss him. I'll
It
be
is
honest.
boring. Donnie had to
Let me
research.
tell you
I miss him a
something.
lot.
Everybody misses him.
Yeah,
So
I
haven't seen
do.
nothing popping off in Facebook since
Right?
January 6th, man. Facebook has become a freaking. Well, you could see the tumbleweed going by.
Yes, sir.
Yo,
Jesus Christmas.
Fucking,
Damn.
right.
It went from every day to what?
I mean, like Texas.
Twitter even a thing anymore?
Texas needed money and Joe Biden just gave it to him. I'm like, nah, man, you gotta like take a cheap shot. Nah,
Something.
you gotta say something about it. You
Their
don't just,
government sucks.
you don't
They're
just-
shit. They're trash.
Yeah, like you're,
something.
yeah, you're not gonna blame the government or someone. Someone's gotta get a foot up their ass.
Maybe if their power companies knew how to run business. Something.
Yeah, something.
Come on,
like,
give me
Give you something, right?
something.
it's like just give me a pen.
Actually, I learned
That's a
something
fact.
interesting
That's a fact.
about the whole Texas thing too, because obviously being one who wants this libertarian utopia.
Oh, you want to live in Texas with
Right?
your own private power grids? Go for it. I can't.
Well,
wait to
no.
hear
Here's the thing, because I
can't
think
wait
that
to hear
this is. Well, all right. Side note here, then. Right, we'll get back to Trump.
Can't wait to hear this.
I think that this is inevitable. We needed this to happen, right? Right? Because think about it. Like
We needed people
we
to
have a buddy.
freeze.
No.
I'm
Of course
confused,
not.
man.
We needed people to freeze so we can learn the lesson. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Would we have built the levees back bigger and stronger if we didn't have Katrina? You know what I'm saying? Like, if there aren't disastrous repercussions, we don't know. We get complacent at where we are because it's working.
Yeah,
Fair
but,
enough.
Yeah, but Jesse.
So hold on, let me just finish
Yeah.
here. So I got into a big discussion with my buddy Patrick, who's a he's an electrician. He's a lighting designer on Broadway. Deals
Okay.
with
Yikes.
power, right?
Yeah.
So he's explaining to me what happened with Texas and why it's fair to blame it on capitalism.
Yes.
Which is why I'm arguing him,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't think that's fair. So he explains to me redundancy, right? Redundancy is going to be a key denominator, common denominator in this,
So
right?
out of that in production. Go on.
The problem with Texas is that they cut off from their grid, right? They became independent off of in what was it, 2004, right? We had that big blackout where the Northeast grid was shut down. Right, and that spanned from us down to North Carolina, right? Because that's our grid. All of those states, we pretty much sell and buy energy from each other.
Okay.
Right? Texas shut that off and went independent.
Yep.
So now they don't get that overflow because they're
Independent.
independent, right? There's no more redundancy there for
yeah.
them to take overflow, buy and sell through.
Very cool.
Where I argue the point where it's not necessarily a thing of capitalism, I understand the argument there because they sold comfort in the future, right? I can't think of the word I'm looking for there, but comfort in the future, right? For money, for a lower monthly cost now, right? So it's Texas, you pay like hardly anything for energy. Right, because they're not storing, they're not sharing, they produce what they need to sustain themselves. So now this is where I think that this was the inevitability. Like we needed this to happen to forward think of, okay, maybe now we look into battery fields. So that we can still be, self-sufficient and not a part of the grid where we raise our.
Sure, Elon's on that same page right
But that's
now,
what
bro.
I'm saying. Like, you know what I
It's
mean?
in the
Like, think about
backyard.
a field of Tesla batteries. 2,500 acres of Tesla batteries that's just storing power. And you don't have to be, let's say, connected to the grid still, but y'all can work locally together and feed and buy each other's energy and store it, and
Or a
there
battery
is
hooked up
way
to your
get
house.
there. Or a battery hooked up, a generator hooked up. But then there you go, like oil prices, gas was like in a shortage, and because of that, because of generators
This
and
is a
such.
really
but
cool way of thinking about it.
I feel like Texas. Nah. I feel like I get what you're saying, but I think they did the wrong thing. I think Texas is like. You're saying that this had to happen for them to learn, when in reality they can learn from other parts of the country.
No. I'm saying I don't think that.
Why?
I think
Why do I have to fall down if you fall in a pothole? Why do I have to fall down the same pothole?
I think that what I'm saying is that I think it was inevitable that something like this was going to happen.
1,000%. But you know what? I'll give you an example. Here's another thing, and I'm not blaming it on capitalism, but the problem with capitalism is that sometimes it's not in a financial best interest. Like, people have this thought process that people run businesses and they balance out making money and future thought process and things like that. They don't. Great businessmen like the Fords and the Teslas, they have a whole strategy, 5-year, 10-year, whatever plan. Most businesses, they're greedy.
Sure.
How much money can I make out of this?
Right.
So the R&D side is underfunded. The people that are trying to figure out what can go wrong, you pull money out of that because
Not necessarily capitalism, but you're blaming greed.
yes, and that's what I'm saying. So what happens in Texas, and then you know what made Texas even worse?
But I mean, again, like it's not to cut you off here, but it's not. This is why I say it's not a. I guess it is the blame of capitalism or the fault of capitalism, but it's not necessarily the fault of the capitalists. You know what I'm saying? Where it's the businessmen, because
I think it's actually the opposite. I think it's the
reason
men
I say
versus
that.
the system.
But the reason I say that is because it's like their clients, the Texas residents. I mean, they all essentially voted for this. They wanted lower energy costs, and they wanted to be cut off from the South. The South, Midwest, whatever fucking grid they are. I forget what it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they wanted that lower monthly cost.
This is Texas we're talking about. Texas also voted recently they were ready to leave us, remember?
Yeah.
and then they also just ask for money.
But they've done that
Like they
for a
have to
long
make up their
time.
mind. They're struggling mentally. Like they wanted to leave, and then they need a check now. Listen, on top of all that,
What does that sound like to you?
exactly. On top of all
Baby
that,
mama drama. Fuck.
on top of all that, just to show you how bad the situation in Texas, now they're dealing with their more greed because now there's price gouging. Because now they're all struggling, and they all need this, they only got... And guess what? Now you're paying extra money for milk and Pampers. Like, they're treating them...
But now
you see
think
my
about
point? Okay,
Hold on,
the problem is this. We always talk about this. We always go back and forth. Yes, I do believe that as a country and individuals and business people, I believe by and large, enough of them can do the right thing. And they can run profitable businesses, maximize their profits, yada yada. But I do believe, by and large, when greed reads it ahead, they can't stop themselves. Companies in this country cannot stop. We hear about this all the time.
I think it's going to be interesting to see people, politicians, governors may run on this issue now. Like, we want to bring it back to the grid, or let's stay self-sufficient. Like, let's see what the people want.
So you got on this, Mikey?
So, going off of that, what are the politicians going to be going off of? How they're going to approach it, I think is also based on something I want to open up for the table real quick. What is the actual percentage of where they're getting their energy from right now? I think I saw recently that maybe 50 to 60% of it is renewable energy. Then after that, it's like about 20%, 25% of I guess your coal or whatever. Then there's a percentage of nuclear, okay? And I forgot there's one more, but it's escaping my mind. So think about this interesting thing that you guys are talking about. Renewable energy doesn't necessarily come from a capitalistic ideology. Right. And I'm just saying that just for the table. I'm not saying that.
I follow you on that.
Right? So it's interesting that...
Also, because I'm pretty sure that Texas renewable energy is only like 12%.
Yeah, Texas is not...
It's like real low.
Yeah, Texas is not renewable energy.
No, it's literally those power fans, I believe, at the current moment, that's one of the issues that was why everything happened, because they're not working.
Yeah,
but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
though.
this was another thing that I was saying is like the wind turbines froze, right? So the wind turbines can't spin to produce, to have the magnets go back and forth to
and you
create
guys are
electricity.
saying that it's not a big portion of their electrical.
I want to say that wind turbines alone, I think, were only like 4% of the 12% of what Texas energy is renewable.
I don't know why I heard that the renewable energy is a big portion of it. Have you heard that it was less?
No,
that it was in that 12%
I thought it was less, but and the turbines. I'm gonna tell you something. They work successfully in other places with below temperatures.
Well, there's also de-icing technology that they just simply did not put. They didn't put it in there.
And
why would they?
But because Jesse,
it's
their
Texas.
job.
This is an anomaly.
Now they're going to do it.
Now they will do it.
There are so many anomalies in this situation. If you break it down, and that's what I was trying to point out there.
Someone is in charge of worst case scenarios. That's what's driving me crazy about this. Like, I hear what you guys are saying, but like, you don't just get to, you can't just put things up and be like, oh, we didn't think about that. Like, you guys, like...
No, you can't. You're right.
You can't just get them off the hook.
No.
Like,
you see, this is where...
Did Texas just say, well, it'll never snow here? Is that what it was? It doesn't snow in Texas?
It's when you factor in probabilities, yes, it's the probability of ice and snow in South Texas is extremely
the last time it snowed in South Florida was 1970.
I know, but my question is...
Extremely low.
I know, but the fact that it had happened is exactly why you should... No,
Sure, but you know what? They're not going to do it. Even Florida's the same way. They're not gonna prep for ice storms. They're gonna prep for hurricanes.
No, this is like
it's a fundamental point, though. It's a fundamental. I get it.
It's insane to me because,
of course, they're just not gonna do it.
I'm always gonna give it to you from a management perspective. Like,
sucks, right?
You're asking me
from a management.
Yeah, you're asking me if I know something could happen. Well, you know what? There's a chance we could be busy today, so I'm not gonna put enough people on.
You've seen it happen.
No, Gene, my point is this.
So guess what?
Gene.
It's possible that today's Friday. We could get really killed So I'm gonna go with 2 servers and a bartender.
That's not it. No. You were
Because-
talking. Your
because-
analogy's wrong.
Because it hasn't been busy.
right, though.
It hasn't been busy in months.
Your analogy's wrong. You would say it on a Monday. Okay, I haven't made more than this much on a Monday in 4 or 5 years, maybe even
But
longer.
it's a holiday.
No.
I
Don't
see
even
what
put
he's
holiday.
about to do.
Don't even put holiday in
exactly what.
because there's no.
It's exactly why every restaurant blows up on Monday
No,
holidays.
I understand. I'm with JP on this one. I
was
disagree with
fair
what you're
point,
saying
yeah.
because
So even-
I
all right,
get what you're
let's-
saying.
It's your job.
I get what you're
it's
saying,
your
but
job to not have that happen.
If you've made $2,000 on a Tuesday for 10 years straight, and
Okay.
then one Tuesday you make 10 grand, and you're not prepared for that, you can't say there should be people.
We
in
should have
charge
seen
of
this
The only
coming.
difference-
I
That's
know,
what
but
they're looking at.
if it's happened before, like
It hasn't.
No.
When's the last time fucking an ice storm
Gene,
went to
hold on, because
Texas?
here's a big part, and it'll even
I'm so
it'll
tired.
even factor into
Good.
your restaurant analogy. Cost. You're not thinking about cost. Yes, you as in a managerial perspective might say, okay, well we blew up on a Tuesday and did 10 grand for dinner 4 months ago.
Why?
We
I have
should
to- yeah.
we should prep for that. And then your overseers are going to go, Gene, cost. You don't need that many people on a Tuesday, right? So now, again, put it into this perspective. Wind turbines. Well, listen, we can put the de-icer technology in it too. It'll raise the cost of each turbine by, 10 grand.
Okay.
But you won't have to worry about icing. And people in South Texas are like, nah, we're good. We're South Texas. We don't need de-icers.
It's possible.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Even
very
so
possible.
even if that was a strategy, you can say, all right,
for yelling.
we're not gonna spend the money on this, but if shit hits the fan, there still has to be a
Literally, if shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah, you gotta have a
Pass an analogy on like that without
you gotta have there has
nonchalantly.
to be emergency protocol, bro.
Shooter.
I get it.
It's
I
like
get it,
having-
but they're
it's
not
like-
gonna.
Gene,
They're not gonna
It's
do
like
it.
having people on call.
It's not gonna happen.
You don't
man.
schedule them, but you have them on call.
not
There
gonna happen.
has to be a plan. Like you guys are.
I get what you're
You know
saying.
what's
letting them
It's-
off the hook. I know.
I'm not
Gene,
letting
I'm
anyone
saying-
off.
I'm saying- I'm-
they are paid to run that company.
I agree with
and
what
they
you're
failed.
saying. And if this was a failure, if this was an utmost failure in, natural gas or coal burning energy, then I would 100% be on your side of it's a managerial breakdown. It's a systemic breakdown. But we're talking about
feel
right
like-
now in this, we're talking about something new. Something that we don't know. Like, again, people in South Texas could have never predicted that wind turbines would freeze due to
You know what this
an
sounds like?
ice storm.
This sounds like every fucking movie where somebody walks in and goes, "This could happen," and everyone's like, "Whatever."
That's because that's
and then
real.
They kick him out. They kick him out the fucking room.
And then aliens show up.
And then this is exactly what happened. Because someone,
All right, well, here's my
in
issue.
Texas
Not
is going,
go
"I
deep
told
into
them.
the
I
night."
Gene,
fucking told
here's
them.
my
They thought I
issue.
was crazy."
Here's my issue
Go
with what
ahead.
you're saying. It's the hindsight 2020 thing.
I don't think
if you
I-
worked in Texas and you lived there all your life and you never saw ice once in your life, you're not going to think of fucking ice. You're not. It's not going to happen. You're
Okay.
thinking of it because you're from New York.
No, but I
you
feel like
deal
it
with
snowed in
cold.
Arizona.
Thank- that's exactly what I was
feel-
gonna
I feel
say.
like it snowed in
We're
Arizona
talking
once.
South
but again-
I feel like-
Texas.
Again, sure, Gene. All right, let me ask you
When
this
you
one.
think of hold on, when you think of Miami, do you think it ever? When's the last time you heard of snow in Miami? Because it's just the South. Just so you know.
I agree, but
That's my point.
issue is the South
talking
is
like 10
always getting fucked
Can I-
up.
can I
and we're
bring it-
always
an
late
even
to the
simpler
party.
question?
Whether it's New Orleans, whether it's Miami,
New Orleans
whether
should have
it's
been more
Texas,
prepared.
they're always fucked up.
New Orleans is
Like,
a bad
I'm
example.
over it.
But-
Someone
okay,
needs to be
okay, hold
specifically
on.
in charge
Okay,
of
hold
the
on.
South. Of
Gene, New
the,
Orleans is a bad example because they should have been prepared for a fucking hurricane. They get hurricanes.
Okay, but
Okay.
I'm saying it's
see that?
always the case.
That
talking
really
about-
is the main
We're
fundamental.
talking about an
that
ice
needs to
storm
be-
in South
yeah.
Texas.
You've lived in Austin, Texas for 20 years.
Okay.
Right? Now, someone's going to come in and say, "Hey, listen. We're going to lower your energy cost by switching over to this," right? You're going, "Oh yeah, that sounds great." Right? And then someone doubles back and says, "Okay, we're going to lower your energy cost by this much, which you agreed upon, but now we're going to have to raise your property taxes." Even though we don't have property taxes, we're gonna have to put in property taxes now to regulate and run these independent or these renewable energy sources. What you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm with you.
I'm
You're
saying
basically saying that people who've
and then
never
they're going
faced
to
a
come back.
disaster.
They're going to
Probably
double
would
back
say
and say
no.
we're going to raise your taxes
I get-
more
yeah.
because we're worried about ice freezing these turbines. The residents of South Texas are going to be like,
I'm with
"No,
you.
you're fucking not."
I'm with you, but
because
this
it
is
doesn't
why
snow down in South Texas.
I'm with you, but
or ice.
listen, I get it. we've had car insurance for how many years? How many accidents have you really had? I get it, but you still get fucking car insurance.
Point.
You
I get
still
your point.
get car insurance.
And listen, and I'll agree with you. If this problem happens again next winter,
It will. Something's gonna
I'm just
happen.
saying, if it happens again next winter, and then then it's like, you know what I mean?
You know what?
Like,
'Cause you know what bothers
but
me
we're
too?
still so new in this sector.
I feel
That's
like
all my
that
point is.
mentality of Texas is that they put themselves in their own bubble. That's part of my issue.
Sure.
They put themselves in their own bubble.
Again, cutting
Believe
themselves
that
off of the
it
grid.
could never happen to us. Let's cut myself off the grid.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about, and which made sense because we're going to cut ourselves off the grid because, we don't use energy the way other people do because we don't have these problems. We don't have snow. We don't have temperatures that require oil
But again,
burning.
think about this.
It's like,
our energy costs are higher because we buy and sell
Yes.
and share
Yes.
energy with everyone.
and that's my point. And
So
like,
we essentially, as users, right, buyers of that energy, we're essentially buying at the price to shield everyone, which I guess is. But the people of Texas were like, we don't want to fucking do that anymore, and good for them then. Figure it out though, because
no.
All right, if
And
you're
I
gonna
think
do
they
it,
will.
great, but figure that
I
shit out.
think they
get
will.
it.
I do. I think that because again, like I said, the minute that the country, right, we as a country start to switch over to renewable energy, I would rather these things happen in a place like Texas, which is no, I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that it's an isolated state.
Yeah.
Now it's like we can look at that for when we transfer over the entire grid.
De-icers are going to be, in my opinion,
Standard now.
Standard now,
100%.
yeah.
Now,
Right. So
because
to
this
your
happened.
point,
Yeah.
they are gonna. It's all of that is going to be standard now. I think what's also to your point and funny to your point, and what I love about it too is like, could you imagine if you're getting that kind of pushback, you're getting that kind of bitch baby because there's something in there about the de-icers being in there. You're fine, and but. Until a moment like this happens, then these guys or people would literally 180 and go, "Well, we were smart enough to put de-icers."
De-icers in, right, exactly. You
But
know
the
what I mean?
whole time up
Well,
until
our new
then,
Swedish
they were
model
like,
comes
"Man,
with
can
de-icers."
you believe every month we gotta pay? Look at that extra $33.
Right, exactly.
All right, so speaking of
no
Texas,
matter what, someone's gonna be pissed off.
Yes.
speaking
yes.
of Texas, how do you feel about the Ted Cruz thing?
Yeah,
That's his boy.
yeah.
Who's my boy?
I always say that. They're all your boys.
How's Ted Cruz my boy?
Because you're-
I've gone to the show a million times and spent as much energy as humanly possible to expose every person individually in the fucking Congress, the Senate. but realistically, Ted Cruz, I've always said it, I don't like to call people scumbags, but that guy is questionable. What he does for our government, it's questionable.
Did he leave during
He
it?
left in the middle of a snowstorm to go to Mexico.
You bad, bro.
To go to Cancun with his family.
Hold on. All right, because if you're gonna use that, if you're gonna talk about that, then you have to state the facts of it, right? He left for a day with his family because his 16-year-old said she wanted to go to the beach.
And guess what? He's in politics.
He's not
Life
in
sucks.
charge.
Life sucks.
What do
Oh,
you
the
mean?
16-year-old's in charge?
No. What are you talking about? What does Ted Cruz have to do with this besides being a cheerleader for his state at the
Can't go.
moment?
He can't go.
Thank you.
I agree.
Thank you.
He can't go.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, not allowed to go.
It sucks. It does. It sucks.
I
It's
get
like
it.
being.
I totally freaking
Is it
get
all right?
it.
Let me ask you,
Honey,
is it
sweetheart, I would love to.
specifically because he works in the government.
Yes.
And it's his state.
It's a
Okay.
state.
All right,
You can't go. You're not allowed to go.
You're not allowed to go, bro.
I'm saying
But you should be like,
if-
my daughter. I'm sorry,
if
man.
any
can't go.
other celebrity or anyone that had the money or the
JJ
ability,
Watt
No, I'm
wouldn't
just
leave.
saying, with the ability to go doesn't matter just because he's in the government. I'm just
he's
asking the
civil
question.
service.
Okay.
Yeah.
You-
I
you
can
can't
understand
go.
that.
A
Sure.
football player. If someone was giving a
Listen,
football player, you're a dick.
Your
Like, you got
leadership,
better shit to worry
your
about.
leadership should be in the eye of the storm.
How about this? How about
Literally.
this? Remember that one year?
Yeah, okay.
Remember
I'm with you guys
Remember
then. I
Snowmageddon
can agree to it.
that we had here? Well, how long ago was that Snowmageddon?
Snowmageddon.
And Justice
Yeah.
I think that
Right?
was Sandy.
That was right after
Right
Sandy.
after Sandy.
Yeah.
Right, and all the cars were on the fucking highway getting
we just
plowed
left
over.
again.
Yes.
Now that guy left. He was out of state during that. The guy
What
who
do
was
you
in
mean, that
charge.
guy?
The guy who was in charge of just snow plows and getting
Sanitation,
the,
yeah,
all that shit. Was out of state.
I totally
and
believe
he,
it.
Amazing.
And he
I
got.
believe unreal.
He was done. I think after
Yeah,
that
he
he
was
was done.
smoked after that.
I don't even know his name. So
That's really
I know, but my
funny.
point
There you
being
go.
is
He's
it went down.
ghosting.
It went down to
I'm
that.
out.
Yeah.
It got down to that level. You're a
Right.
civil-
Down to
you're-
the local level.
Right.
Of,
And
You should have been here figuring this shit
yeah,
out.
you know what? Fuck Ted Cruz. I did see a funny meme.
Ted, I think you messed
Right?
up there,
With the
buddy.
cornrows?
Yes.
You know, I swear I wasn't in Mexico. That
dude,
shit was funny.
I just feel like what he did to me was so like I just laughed. What he did is so typical of how Congress they're unaccountable for anything, and the only thing now that can hold our Congress accountable is fucking memes.
Right.
Like we've gotten to the point where you're gonna have to meme senators to death so they can do their job. Like this is how bad. Oh.
Well, let me
like,
ask
I
you.
literally see memes. Where's my $1,400, Joe? Like this is what it's taking to
Yeah.
to run our government.
Yeah.
Like people have to be shamed.
Do you think
Shamed.
Pelosi stays if there's an earthquake?
Well, she does
Now-
have a lot of
now-
ice cream in her fridge.
No, yeah. Now
So she
does.
might. She might.
No, I think after what just happened.
I'm just saying, like,
no.
is it like because this is the narrative that I'm getting from this
And if
whole
she
thing
leaves,
is that
guess
it's
what? She's
it's
a piece of shit.
Piece of shit Republicans. This is what they do.
No,
so that's
no.
why I asked that question. Like,
But he
is
never
it-
said
is it-
Republican
No,
once.
he
You know
didn't.
what
That's
I
why
mean?
I'm asking.
I don't say.
So is it?
I
He
think.
says senators,
Yeah,
Congress,
They're all 'cause
civil servants.
They're just grimy, bro.
Like, yo, where's Beto? Right? Is Beto opening up his doors? You know that dude's got heat.
You know who else needs that? You know who else needs a foot up his ass? The guy who owns that church. Where's he at? Did he let people in?
Yeah, word.
Yo, there's a guy.
He'll never
There's a guy in Texas
let people
who
in.
owns 2 furniture stores.
Oh yeah, and he let people.
He let people
fucking-
in.
Amazing.
People stay in
the
there.
fucking biggest church in fucking
Holstein.
Holstein won't let people in.
Get out of here.
He had that issue during.
Yes.
That
That
was
guy's-
recent.
that
What was a
guy's
recent thing that
greaseball.
he did bring?
He
people
didn't.
in?
No, he didn't allow
Anyone that uses the Lord to profit, you're a piece of shit, in my opinion. You know.
I feel like that's
Well, the way he does it,
I feel
yeah,
like
because he's
that's-
not.
I don't
he's
like
not
any
a-
of that shit.
He will
Get
not
off
let
TV. You're a
Yeah.
scammer.
I feel like that's half the country in the last Kanye West album. But you didn't hear that from me. But you didn't hear that from me. But go ahead.
The production on that
Oh
was
yeah.
fire.
But
still.
you didn't hear that from me.
Okay. That last Kanye album was still.
I did not listen to the last Kanye
He
album.
actually almost. I
His
think,
beats are just stupid.
I think he went
Kind of
platinum.
hip hop.
I don't listen to anything.
I didn't
It's
listen
a
to it.
Christian
No,
rap
it's a Christian
album.
album. I think he went platinum on a Christian album.
Bro, it's his
And it was
production
right-
is stupid.
And it was
It's
right
so
after
good.
he met with Trump, which is I'm like this guy because you know Trump has such a strong evangelical base.
Yeah, that-
and I'm
oh,
like
yeah,
this
yeah,
guy.
you did say
He,
this.
he chess moved this whole thing. Like it's
Yup.
just it's a crime.
I'm gonna meet with
It's a-
I'm gonna
it's a
meet with
legit-
Trump. I'm gonna get those white evangelicals
Yeah.
on my side. I'm gonna drop my God album, and then I'm gonna run for president.
Scoop Diddy Poop was on which project,
Diddy Poop.
right? It was on the one before this one.
No, that's an old album. I don't know
Yeah.
about-
After
that's
Scoop
Pusha
Diddy
T.
Poop, I kind of was just like,
No, that's with Pusha T.
I'm not checking your
That's
stuff.
a good line though.
I'm not checking your stuff.
I'm not checking
You know
your
what he's talking
stuff.
about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I gave up.
He goes,
I stopped on Kanye for a while.
I talk shit and how do we respond? Poop this Scoob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Pusha
Oh,
T.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
Pusha
yeah,
T.
yeah. Yeah.
Which he produced a shitty album.
You know what? You get mad at that, but what about Woo-Ha, I Got You All in Check? That's
Keep-
classic, right?
Keep going. Well,
Yeah. You're like,
rhymes.
that's like, oh, that's
Busta
fire.
rhymes.
But
Hey, first
Kanye
of all-
says Scoop Diddy Poop, and you're like, nah.
I can't.
Why?
And another
Now you're just being word racist.
Well, another
dare you.
hypocritical
Is not a
kind of
good
thing
line. I
about
agree
it
with him.
that I acknowledge is that I think he did that for why it is that I'm like, all right, I'm out, and I think that's why he did that was because you guys are all doing this.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna
okay.
say Scoop Diddy Poop on the record, and it's gonna be hotter than everything out there. But even I was like, I got your point, but even I'm out.
I get it.
I was like, I got it.
Well said.
I have to
Yeah.
rescind that actually also because Busta Rhymes didn't come up with the line Woo-Ha, I Got You All in Check. I apologize. It's
Where-
Jesse's favorite rap group that did it.
Leaders
Yeah.
of the new school. Oh,
Beastie
sorry.
Boys. Beastie Boys
I
had that.
messed up.
I'm not
it
a
was in the
Beastie
middle
Oh
of it.
yeah, they did do it.
Fire.
It was a drop in the middle of a song. Woo-Ha, I got you all in check.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And then Busta Rhymes said, all right, yeah, I'll make a shit ton of
Was
money
that
with
ever
line."
acknowledged? Was that ever acknowleded?
I don't think so. No,
was
no
said?
one ever knew.
Good.
I was just randomly listening
Now
to the
I don't
Beastie
like.
Boys. I'm like,
Now I
holy
don't like
shit.
that song.
Dangerous, I think he got from a Germs commercial. This is serious.
Ah.
It was from a Germs jingle. Germs, like for schools
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Brilliant.
Don't be serious.
No, but you know what
Yo,
though?
that's great.
Yeah, I
That's
remember
funny,
though.
too.
All they did was sample back then. So
No, I know. No, I know.
And honestly,
I think it was brilliant.
I think sampling's brilliant. Because for you,
Sampling itself became an art form.
it is
like,
an art
to be
form. Because
able
to hear something and say I can make that better, or I can take that little sample and make it.
Reverse it, flip it, slow it down.
Put my thing
Missy.
down, flip it.
It's all
in
about the
reverse.
Benjamins, baby. Come on, you saw that.
Snarking then yet?
I don't know what that is.
Snarking and fit
Has anyone ever like flipped it? Just
I
to see
did.
what she
I totally did.
I think it's
She
the
says it.
line
It's the same-
before
it's
it
the
just
line.
reversed. Yeah.
I did
Flip it, slip it, and reverse it.
It
and then
is.
it's sit back then yet.
It's
Fuck
that
you,
line,
Missy
Missy
just
Elliott. I
reversed.
love you for that.
Oh, nice.
All right, fair enough.
See, using
Fair
the
enough.
voice as
Debunked.
instrumentation.
Debunked.
I like it.
Do you guys know about the Gina Carano thing?
Yeah, of course.
I do
kind
not.
of.
What is that?
I can't
Gina
wait
Carano,
to hear
watched,
this.
have you watched The Mandalorian?
No.
You're a piece of
If
shit.
this is
Ah,
if
you're
this
a
goes
piece of
Star
shit.
I've never
Wars,
watched
I
it.
will
No, no, you're
go
a
make
piece of shit.
breakfast.
Well, bro, this is the way. Listen, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but
Sorry,
the
I
Mandalorian,
gotta get into it
Mandalorian is in a separate category.
You know what what I do want
Truthfully.
to ask actually, it's specific to the Mandalorian, is what are they talking about on these social media platforms about homie signing something? What did he give away? He gave away something?
Who?
Homie.
Fucking homie.
Yeah, homie.
George
homies.
Lucas?
Yes. What did he sign that gave away something? It's like
Disney?
I'm seeing things where people are memeing like the regret in his eyes, and he's like signing these papers. or
No,
whatever.
that's because he sold Lucasfilms to Disney.
I mean, he
$1 billion.
literally specifically
How old
didn't
is
sell
Lucas?
to these people and made a fortune off of it.
Literal
You're saying
fortune.
after all of this time, he ended up
His
doing it
grandkids
anyway.
were like, Grandpa, you got to do it for us.
but what does that mean?
I don't know.
Though? He smoked it.
Listen, Stanley ended up dying.
Like he
You gotta do
smoked it.
You know what I mean? Stanley
Yeah.
lived his life. He was in
Why
every
did he
fucking
go?
movie.
Why did he
and he
eventually
sold
go?
his rights.
He's got a reason
Sal-
for it. He's got a
Sal-
reason for it. He has to have a reason for it.
Yeah, $1
It has to have a
billion.
reason
$1 billion.
Well, he made
One of those.
more of. All right, I guess.
me explain
I
something.
guess the B is the thing.
Let me explain something.
Yeah.
His
$1 billion
movie makes $1 billion doesn't mean you get $1 billion.
In his case, it did.
He got $1 billion
For the name.
for the name.
the
Let me
rights
explain
of
something about
Star
$1
Wars.
billion.
And after taxes, whatever. He,
Take-
You know what it is?
Take
He
them-
probably was like, I'm not going to go down this pop culture
he didn't.
Disney
No, he didn't want
bullshit.
to. He didn't want to do it really anymore. After
Right.
the prequels got fucking lambasted, he got set on
But
fire.
you don't hand it
verbally.
off to someone underneath you. You
Yeah,
don't hand
but-
it off to family
Let me explain
or
something.
Nah.
Think of.
Yeah, you know what you hand them?
the money.
$1 billion.
the empire.
Let me explain something.
Here's your home
Think of,
in
think
Bora
of someone.
Bora.
Think of the most drugged out, alcoholic, whatever you want. With $1 billion, the whole family could be that and still be great. Like they can
Yeah.
fuck up every day. Make mistakes every day, spend money incorrectly every day, get high
For the
get
rest of their
For
life.
the rest of their, and not just the immediate kids, the ones after that.
Gene, if
So,
you made
like, you take the $1 billion because
If
$1
you
billion-
made-
Second generation fuck up here. We're
Yes,
talking
you can.
about.
We can fuck up for lives. For lives. Like you can look at the grandkid like, it's cool. Yeah, if you want to.
It's something like if you made $10,000 a day,
Yes.
every day since the U.S. has been a country,
You still.
you wouldn't have $1 billion.
$1
If you made 10 grand a day
Yeah, you get it. Like
for every day that we have been a country,
Yeah, that's insane.
you wouldn't have $1
Like,
billion.
we're numb-
That's how much money
we're-
$1 billion.
we're numb to the word billion, and we're numb to billionaires. Like
Because now we're getting into the world of trillions.
yeah, because it's like Oprah's a billionaire. People are like, oh okay. Like no, it's
Right,
not
because
okay.
Elon Musk
Shit.
might very well be the first trillionaire.
Come on.
He will
Yeah,
be.
you will
Once,
be.
Bro,
we just
once
talked about
space-
energy. Who do you think's the leader? Who's going to be a leader
But
in
a
renewable
trillion is
energy?
like, oh my
He made
gosh.
$700 million just on his Bitcoin move.
Yeah.
His Bitcoin, which is
The Bitcoin
Might have made
memes.
more.
Yeah,
You could have been rich.
No, I think you're right.
All you had to do was spend $2 20 years ago.
on Tesla in 1 year, and then he made $700
No.
million in Tesla in
made-
1 year. In
Yes,
just 1 year.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
he did the same thing in a Bitcoin move in 3 minutes.
Literally. He bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, and then it skyrocketed up like $7 grand.
Yeah, so he made
The
$700
end.
million. So he's already.
Bye.
That's what I'm saying.
See ya.
The end.
Like,
It's
And now
amazing.
he's going to accept Bitcoin as purchase eventually
Fantastic. I mean,
for a Tesla.
Yep.
So
I
if
don't
you
like
have some
that
Bit-
guy.
I love him.
Yeah, I like him.
He was just on Rogan and they were talking. He asked him, he's like, Elon Musk said that he believes that we're probably 2 years out, right, from
That's Elon talk.
orbital travel as
Orbital
civilians.
travel, yes.
Yeah. No, not that civilians will be
Not
able to go.
interplanetary.
Not interplanetary.
We're talking about
orbital.
what I
Like,
was talking about.
3 months or whatever it'll be. I think is that what he said? Something like that. Like you'll be able
Instead of
to
a helicopter ride in the
purchase
city,
a
I
ticket
can take a
and
ship around the world.
shoot up to space and fly around in orbit.
Oh, I see what you're
And
saying.
then come back.
Because his ultimate goal is like you want to get
Sick.
you want to get to Japan in 30 minutes.
That I like.
Rocket.
Oh wow, that is like way for the future.
Amazing.
That would be fantastic.
That's what he
and
wants.
scary. I don't think I would do it.
Oh, it's sick.
Still gotta go back to
30
Gina. I
minutes.
wanna-
You're
Yeah, we'll get
permanently
there, we'll get
inside
there.
of a missile.
Yes, that's
Yes.
basically what you are.
Well, he's gonna
Inside
figure
of
that shit. I'm not worried about it. You've been in the car.
Crazy, though.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Crazy.
You shit'll
The
do
games.
itself.
You've seen the games I could play.
Yes. For real though. All right, so let's go back to Gina Carano. Do you know about Gina Carano?
Okay. The only thing I know about her, she was an ex-MMA.
Yes.
Yep.
And I will say, one time on Netflix, I popped in a movie, Haywire. She was in an amazing movie. She did look, it was a badass movie, but other than that, I don't know her that well.
Well,
Like,
she
I can't pretend I was
You know
a
what she
fan.
did where she fucked up? You know
Yeah,
where
I
she
agree with
fucked
that.
up?
I couldn't pretend I was a fan.
But-
I knew her from
The Mandalorian, obviously.
the brief MMA when I was kind of getting back into
and
MMA.
She was also in
then Mandalorian.
Deadpool. You saw the first Deadpool.
Oh, that's right. She was in Deadpool.
Yeah. First
That's
one.
right.
That is-
Hold
Yeah,
on.
that's
So
right.
then maybe
Okay.
I can.
She got 2 points for being.
Maybe I can line it up. First
You watched
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Who does she
the
play?
big chick.
The big chick with the silver guy.
The fighter.
No,
Colossus,
the fighter,
yes.
the bad guy that the guy that Colossus fought at the end of the movie.
I got totally get it, and I'm still out.
You know, I get annoyed at people like
I
you.
love it.
Is it
who don't
Bane?
remember.
That's me, man. I'm the
Bane?
same
No.
way as him.
Bane is fucking Batman.
DC.
Oh, fuck you.
Wait, is Daredevil
now you're
DC?
You're starting.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
Oh wow.
Daredevil is not
Marvel.
DC.
It's Marvel.
Yeah, he's part of.
You guys are killing me and Gina.
Sorry about
now.
that. Yes,
You're
I'm out.
Murdering
Sorry.
our
They're
brains.
like huge comic
really
book
are.
guys.
I
was
thought
born-
I was.
Me too. Until I talked to them, and I'm like,
I was born in the
Yeah.
darkness.
yeah.
Bane is
I was like, what do you mean there are multiple universes? I'm out.
Yes.
All right.
So this Flash isn't the Flash in what?
It's like this.
You know-
What's the
Yeah, sorry.
the most powerful superhero of all time? Those are the arguments we get into. You see, you guys are just
Like, yeah, Superman.
Obviously,
He's like, nah,
Superman is
Superman.
not your answer.
Captain Marvel.
No,
No.
Wow.
it would
Why?
be like.
I thought she was.
Spider-Man, or Jean Grey when she's the Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix is pretty.
Is the most powerful thing that ever hit the universe.
Now we're getting into that world.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Karada.
Again, we've digressed.
MMA.
So do you know?
Mandalorian.
Do you guys know what she did?
Yes. No,
Yes.
I don't. Go. What
I
did she
don't.
do exactly?
She put out a tweet.
What is the tweet?
Yes.
I
It was
don't remember what it
comparing
said, but
comparing the way Republicans
Go ahead.
get shit and get basically abused, I guess,
By the media.
by the media.
Okay.
The same way that I guess people in towns would persecuted the Jews.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where she fucked up is she said the
Yikes.
J word.
Right.
You cannot. You want to talk about getting canceled? That's instant cancellation right there.
She's got a point though, because if you're in one of these major metropolitan cities and you're known as a Republican,
Sure, but
you're shunned.
that's not
You're-
the shit.
You know,
she was right
should have
about
put
that.
It, she should have put it
She
differently.
should have never went towards the.
I guess.
Don't go to fucking Nazi.
I don't
go
think
to
that-
Hitler.
I don't think
Just
that.
don't do it.
But why? I mean,
Why would you?
For the last 4 years, we've so softened
people
and
are assholes.
desensitized the term Nazi
yes,
and Hitler,
yes, and they're just as wrong.
4 years. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler, and it's like
They're wrong
Do
for
you
that.
guys even
Hitler
know? Yeah,
literally
yeah.
killed people.
Yeah, it was,
They're wrong.
it's-
when they called the thing in
I get that.
Florida,
I understand that.
in the Mexican border, a concentration camp.
Right.
It's like no,
No,
internment
Yeah,
camp.
that's
Yeah.
a lot.
No,
I agree.
that's FDR did that. Oh, I'm sorry. Hitler also did that, but so did FDR. Okay?
Internment
Remember the
camps.
Japanese ones?
Yeah.
Oh.
But those weren't concentration camps. They were called internment camps because they
Sure.
weren't killing any of them.
We knew what it was, though.
But they weren't killing people. I guess.
No, you know what? You're right. You're
and
right.
listen,
And
that may be
for
semantics.
facts purposes, you're right, and that's where I
That
think
may be
maybe
right. It may be hair splitting. It may be
That's a bad
semantics.
joke, then.
Both words it could mean the same thing, but in people's brains now, you say concentration camps. What do you think of? Jews being thrown in ovens and
In
cooked
ovens.
and murdered
Sure.
and killed. When you think internment camp, you don't think Japanese people getting rounded up. A lot of people don't even know about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that gets skipped in history.
A lot of people have no
that's fucked
idea
up.
about that at all.
Because, you know,
And
FDR is the best.
You know why I know about it? The only reason why I know about it?
This guy.
The only reason why I know about it is because George Takei from Star Trek, from the old Star Trek. He knows.
Love him.
Went on to Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And he, as a kid, he was in a Japanese internment camp.
Wow, I didn't know that about him.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why
I
know.
didn't pick that up through all of his
See?
penis talk.
So
Easy.
that's
How not long ago that was.
right. Right.
Wow.
A man yes,
That a man who can tweet it on Twitter
can
do that.
So,
Think about that.
Go ahead,
But look what happened to Michael B. Jordan. He mentioned Jews.
Nick Cannon.
Got fucked. What did I say? Michael B. Jordan?
Nick Cannon. You
Nick
always
Do
Cannon.
this every time.
Because those two are interchangeable for me.
No, they're not. Michael B. Jordan is Wakanda, and he's also Creed.
No. Let me tell you something.
Creed.
Oh, yeah.
Creed.
Creed.
Wow.
They are similar.
He resurrected a Rocky franchise.
They both
that
have-
had no shot.
You gotta understand something. They both have the soft features in their face.
No, I
They
get it,
got
but-
baby faces, and I always and will always fuck them up. And not this has nothing to do with don't bring that black people look alike bullshit because white girls look alike.
Italian girls specifically.
Long
No.
White girl.
Long Island white girls
all look the same.
all look alike.
The Jap look. The Jap look.
They're one person,
the job look.
and they all talk alike, and they talk like this, and fuck them. Those two guys.
And they talk like this.
Those two guys remind me of each other just because of the way they fucking are. But Michael B. Jordan is an amazing actor, and I'm sorry for saying that you were Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, anyway. He got fucked.
Out.
Yeah, but guys.
He got his job back.
Yeah.
Are we
But
gonna-
not the point.
All right.
Point is, he got into
They
shit
called him.
because he mentioned
Yeah.
Somebody called him.
Okay, listen.
Can't do it.
This is what drives me crazy. If you are in the limelight, or you're making money in the limelight, it is your job to step lightly. Like, it's not my job.
Well, Gina Carano was warned 1,000
I'll
times
give you an
over.
example. And he every time I mention him, but like Colin Kaepernick was the first victim of cancel culture.
Was he, though?
If you really think about all this, he was a guy that did something that went against a large amount.
Don't get me wrong, he was canceled in some way, but
was
I'm saying,
canceled.
was he the
Not-
first?
No. I understand what Gene's
he's the
saying.
first
He's
one-
certainly not the first cancel culture
But he's
victim.
the first big one.
He's the first cancel culture victim that may not have deserved it.
Yes.
Right.
You know,
And then that-
for just because, again, you know where I stand on this. I
Yes.
don't agree with it, but I totally agree with it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
freedom of speech, do what you want. You know, it's up to the NFL to make those decisions because they're a private organization. Whatever they decide, I'm fucking fine with. This is America.
Yikes.
I don't like it. I understand that. See, here's the thing, too. I love this. He talked to a soldier, right?
Nate Boyer.
Nate Boyer, that's his name.
That's
I always forget his name. Nate
I never
Boyer.
forget it because he's the one that
And when the
always
kneeling-
gets-
When the
Forgotten.
kneeling was brought up, Nate Boyer, I'm going to say it again just so we don't forget it. Nate Boyer
told him to kneel.
is the one who told him to kneel out of a sign of
He said
respect.
Sitting
And
was disrespect.
I
Yes.
argued this point with my father and like a couple of other family
they
members.
struggle with it because it's
they do,
hard.
and they're like, "Oh, that's disrespectful to the flag and to the soldiers." And I was like, "An actual soldier
told
him it's more respectful to take the knee. This is what we do."
Are we mad at the fact that he wore the pig socks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
And I think that's where that line is drawn. I think that unfortunately Colin Kaepernick did not do it right. He was
call him
honest.
Colin? Is that a Colin?
Colin
Thank
Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick.
I think no, you're right. With him, but the thing about him,
That was the
canceled
line draw
himself
for me.
out. He canceled
but
himself.
that's
Like
my-
he was on to something, and then he did that, and I was like, ah!
Right, I'm
that-
with you on
but
that.
that's-
That's where he
But that's
he
the
lost
whole
me.
point. When you decide that you're gonna speak out against something, you're gonna talk about something, you are now entering that minefield.
Yeah.
You have to
I see what you're
decide
saying.
if you want to tap dance through that minefield. She knows what she's
Yeah,
doing.
look at Roseanne Barr, too.
Roseanne Barr. I agree. I didn't think Roseanne Barr should have been canceled, specifically because
Happened
of the
in a
show
night.
called Blackish. You can't have a show on television called Blackish and then turn around and say Roseanne's show is too anything. It can't be.
That wasn't why she got canceled.
No, she got canceled because
The tweet.
She called the head of one of the things, the Planet of the Apes or some shit. It was fairly racist.
It wasn't, and you know,
But I don't think
but
she
if
meant
you
it in a-
listen
I
to
know,
her
but
explain that.
I know, but the show,
You know?
everyone on the show got punished, which is why they brought them back. But the show
Right.
got punished for her personal. That would be like canceling the whole movie
Immediately.
because Gina did something.
So she didn't know she was
Right,
black, right?
Roseanne needed the backlash, not the show.
She didn't know that she was like a quarter black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roseanne didn't know that what's her name was like a quarter or a half black. That's why
Who?
the
person
Planet
that
of the
she
Apes
said that about.
comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it was so bad because it came out as
she was on an
offensive
Ambien.
because it was, and she was on Ambien, yeah, because it was a person of color, and she was like, "What? Like, what do you, you know?" So it's
Roseanne
like
strikes me
that sucks,
as
you know.
Roseanne strikes me as that pocket of America. Like that's why she doesn't offend me because she just strikes me as a pocket of America that knows what they know. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't. Like I don't
Sounds
think
like Long
she's
Island to
racist.
me.
I don't think, she's not Long Island at all. I don't think so.
No, I'm saying it sounds like Long Island to me. They know what they know.
That was her
Yeah, they
second
know what they
strike
know.
too. The
Yeah.
Star Spangled Banner was a big. That was a big strike for her. That was a big moment for her. It was a big strikeout for her.
Yeah.
So she had to come back from that one.
she came back
I
from
think
a
she,
lot of
grabbed-
shit.
Yeah. She was always in it,
She
right?
went into like one of those magazines.
Andrew
and-
Dice Clay. You know, he had a tough time coming up.
Oh, how about that girl? The other one though, the one that with the Trump thing, Kathy. They canceled her.
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, she thought she was slick. She thought
That was another one that
she
was like.
thought she was gonna get a bunch of bonus points from the anti-Trump thing.
My gosh.
And they were
People were like, ooh.
and they're like, you're on your own. Like
They tasted that.
you,
to the
you
there
walked-
were some people
she
that-
walked the wrong minefield. She literally stepped on a fucking boom.
Meanwhile, Pelosi has that as a poster in her office.
No.
No.
I was like, really?
Go on.
No, I love it. I love it.
Like,
But-
go on. This makes
Yeah.
so much sense.
Now, I'm like, I get it now. But yeah,
See that the Kathy Griffin thing too is like that's kind of like a tough one for me as well because
Freedom of
I
expression.
get I get
Really?
why it's disgusting and appalling, and if it happened to any other president in history, everyone in America would be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But again, like it does, it kind of teeters that line of freedom of expression, and yes, it's vulgar and offensive to a lot.
to me,
That's what happened with Gina.
You know,
Gina
it's like-
Carano.
Yeah, but she. Once again,
Put it to you this
she
way, it
navigated
wasn't-
a minefield.
Right,
It
no,
wasn't
that's
his
what I'm saying. Going
actual
off of
head.
what you're
Yeah,
going
like-
off of.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't his actual head. It
All
was
right,
a
listen, there's
it's
a
a
reason-
work of art.
there's a
Someone
reason-
can argue there.
You guys are.
I don't like it,
listen,
but I'm just saying.
There's a reason why music, athletes, all these people are connected to PR people.
It's why Nipsey can write.
You know why? Because
Fuck Trump, you
Because
know, and like-
nobody expects you to speak certain language for the masses because it's not gonna land right.
Okay.
And this is why people like her, there's voice for her. Like even that whole conversation, she could have went on a conservative talk show and said, "This is how I feel." Whole shit would have landed better. When you tweet, you're basically grabbing a megaphone.
Especially Disney fans.
Yeah, and
Disney
like
fans.
you know what I mean? Like
They're not.
you're making Disney money now. Like chill
Oh, you're saying
out.
Gina.
Yes.
Oh,
like
right,
you,
right,
you
right,
gotta like
Yeah.
people to me. Like you got same thing I said when Colin Kaepernick when that first happened. I'm like, dude, you make too much money to take yourself out of the game.
This
you know what I
is-
mean?
yeah,
she makes
yeah.
too much
But
money.
it's not that hard to do.
She can
Jesse,
fix her
you did it.
issue.
What?
And then for a small time thing with the band, when you were doing when you were saying a lot of like political things, and we were
Trying
like,
to
"Ah, for the-"
educate people.
Right. And
It
we were like, you know
turned
what, dude,
bad.
for the band, let's just not even talk about it.
Right.
And you were like, this sucks, but okay. Like, fuck this,
During
but
the whole-
okay.
you know,
Because
it's
you have
funny,
to
during the
decide
whole-
what's important.
During the whole rise of BLM, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this past year, a
but this we're
local
talking about
artist,
years ago.
a local artist reached out to me and said, you know, I noticed that Oogie and you know you guys haven't said anything in support of Black Lives Matter. I think that you know your fans
They came looking for you.
would like to hear your support or see your support for that. And I politely responded back like, yo, much appreciated. There has been rifts internally within the band over the years. And we decided that we are never going to step into the political sphere as a whole,
Good
as
for
an
you.
organization.
I
Each of us have our own independent thoughts and ideologies that we believe in, that we practice. I can assure you that none of us stand on the side of police brutality, and that's it. You know,
Everybody always bottom lines then
think
off
that
of
was-
the silence thing, but I think that you actually gave a very good reason as to why the silence. You know,
Right.
like you had brought in individuality in your band. That was like that
Yeah.
was probably the best reason I've ever heard. It's a genuine reason
Sure.
of why we would not speak out on this matter.
we're internally
some
we're
bands-
conflicted. You know,
Each
like
band's got some shit because the guitarist went off and said some dumb
Right.
shit. There was a couple of bands from California,
And I always say that because one person can affect the whole group, which
especially with a band.
is exactly, which is why it's.
I ran into trouble down in Tampa. There were these girls that wanted to protest an Oogie show when we were playing, or it was Clearwater. It was out in Clearwater.
Scientology's
and it was-
finest.
It was in like 2015, and it was
You
because
spoke against Tom Cruise.
I was posting up things about why Trump would be a good idea for the country in the direction that we're going. Like, we need to step away. Like, there was a long list of things as to,
Okay, so here's
the Iranian nuclear deal at that time was like a hot buttoned issue. And it was like, this is detrimental to our future, and then just bringing in a business mind. And that's the way I looked at it. I also thought that Trump would be the perfect candidate to destroy our political system and implode it.
He almost did.
Almost did.
Almost did.
We were almost there. But so whatever. Some girls like took major offense to this, told me that I was racist, that I was bigoted, that I wanted to deport her friend, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, we never said any of these things.
And we sure as heck don't say anything now about these things after January 6th. I haven't heard any of this stuff.
You won't see
it's
any.
all
I haven't
stopped.
seen a single pro Biden thing on
you won't.
Facebook.
No, you won't.
Not one.
Well, because he's bringing us back to status quo.
we're not
Everyone's
bringing
hiding their
status quo.
heads
Going back
right
into
now.
the
They're like,
nuclear
"Oh,
deal,
man."
nobody cares. Going back into
Wall
Paris
Street still
Accord,
owns
nobody
us.
cares.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Smoke.
I'm just
These
saying.
guys literally had to release a virus out of a lab to stop this guy. Literally. Literally. Someone was like, she was like,
Release the house.
this guy's gonna fuck us up. Hit the button. What, sir? Hit the button.
Hit the Rona button.
Hit the
think that's
fucking
you,
button.
buddy.
Nah, it might be me.
No, that's not me. I'm like,
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
sorry. So, anyways,
great. No, that's
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano.
I think we made it. I think we made the points on that.
Well, we dance right back into.
but-
I love how this came full circle because we just talked about Trump. So the one thing that I thought was interesting is there's a lot of talk of Trump either buying into an existing social media platform or creating his own.
Okay.
And the millions of people. So I saw an interesting poll that came out within.
Also, news station, maybe TV station.
That was in the
independent-
talks.
The independent vibe.
Right,
of,
but there were actual meetings as of recent of that Trump and some other people had of starting
He'll do it.
a media platform, a social media
he'll
platform.
totally do it.
His
He'll do it.
his own. The one poll that I thought was interesting is, I think it was like 48% of Republicans would join a Trump party. 27% would still support the GOP, and it was like 24% or something like that are undecided. So I thought that was interesting.
Wow, I would have thought those numbers to actually be a little different.
So did I.
I would have thought that because even
Mitch
the
fucked
GOP
up,
party,
man.
even the GOP
I
party
told
sucks.
you about that guy.
Even
Yeah.
the GOP party sucks.
I
Like
agree.
I would have definitely that was like the big like whoa as to like the why, like people that like supported Trump also were just like because the thing that we're currently supporting sucks.
Sucks.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that kind of a thing. It was just like, all right, this guy is
GOP sucks.
You
The
cannot
Deans
buy
also
this
sucks.
guy. You can't buy this. You simply the beginning of everything started upon Kurt Cobain saying, "We need a tycoon. We need a tycoon in there." Finally, and he goes, "We need a tycoon like Trump
My
to
man.
get in there." And finally, he got in there, and everybody was like, "Throw everything you have at him." Holy shit, he fucking got in. Everybody throw everything you have. Dems, get it going. Even the GOP at one time, somebody had to say, you better get behind this fucking guy, because this is where it's going right now. But even then, even the GOP was going after him.
Sure.
Ted Cruz, and everybody. So Everybody
And
got
always
really
was.
fucking nervous. And the only way to keep this guy from being as 100% fully efficient, fucking fantastic at what he fucking does is they had to get at him every single fucking day. When somebody says, if this guy cured cancer, he would have been fucking held accountable for it, you better believe your fucking ass. If he fucking cured cancer, they would say, well, now the hospitals are gonna go out of business. Somebody would have fucking said some bullshit. They literally had to fuck this guy up every day. If Trump came out of a fucking ice cream shop and somebody said, what flavor did you get? Holy shit. We would probably be not only the sickest country in this whole fucking world, but every country around us would probably fucking rise up with us. And China was like, absolutely fucking not. We have a couple of years until we fucking take them over. Let's keep it going.
Get 'em.
Release the hounds.
Get 'em.
Hit the fucking button. And then one of these fucking guys was like, sir, are you sure? Because you're also going to take out half of our own fucking country. Well, we have no fucking choice.
I don't got a
Because
hat.
this guy is fucking tariffing, taxing, this, that, and the third. I walked on the fucking White House lawn with the guy and he's the same fucking height as me. Jesus Christmas. Hit the fucking button. He's too good. He's too fucking good. He's fucking excelling while everybody in this whole fucking country is calling him a fucking xenophobe, homophobe, mamaphobe, dadaphobe. Jesus Christmas.
Get him.
This guy's getting everybody jobs, everybody money. Everybody's getting money. Why?
That's true.
Because the
Everyone
guy
knows.
is on some money shit. Jesus Christmas.
Talk to him.
Well, listen. A lot of
Sorry
his shit.
about that.
Yeah.
Hello, John.
Everyone say hello to Johnny James. You're
going
not gonna
on?
see him, but just say hello anyway.
Another really amazing thing that I find too,
And he
I really
didn't
wanna
drink the
say is-
coffee.
Another really amazing thing I want to say
That's
too
some-
is that it's really interesting how we were postured for the last 4 years, like on Facebook, because conservatives and your general Democrat and conservative does have the same fucking values. I swear, if you actually sat for 1 second and talked about situations like, all right, for instance. I'm going to bring up Kenosha just for a split second, okay? Conservatives were just saying, and we're saying this for everybody, we're saying this for all brethren, everybody. If someone's coming at you, defend yourself. But that got lost somehow, because there was so many political weaponizing things that were
Whatever
around
happened
that
to
as
that
to
kid?
why that
Kyle
happened or
Rittenhouse, right?
whatever. But it was just like, I was in a run of comments at one point where the person that was arguing, I even said to them, I said, listen, at the end of the day, if someone's coming after yours, I hope that you would protect yourself. I would want that for every American. And we should be proud that we have the ability to even slightly have to do that, although things like free speech and Second Amendment are constantly in question, apparently, in the last fucking 10, 15 years. But we still have a roundabout sense of being able to say what we want to say and maybe having a fucking rifle in the fucking closet in case I got somebody coming through my front door.
Yes, sir.
Okay, back to that card right there. What is that?
No,
Thank you, America. Mike is
that was-
out of breath because of
No,
you.
that was awesome. You know what though? But
Get him. Oh, Jimmy the Cricket haircut wearing motherfucker.
it's all connected though, because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's all connected because the last
Please
4
connect it,
years,
Gene.
the Trump 4 years is where the inability for conservatives and liberals to have a conversation is what put steroids into cancel culture.
Oh, for sure.
Yes,
is a
sir.
fact.
Like it was like fuck you, you're canceled.
HGMO this.
Fuck you, you're
wow.
canceled. So there was no way for someone to be like it was. We never did that before.
Yeah.
It was like, I really don't agree with it, whatever. But like people were like, cancel Christmas, cancel Thanksgiving,
Yep.
cancel
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Like, it really.
4th of July.
And people were numb to it.
Fucking something
People were
else.
paying
And then all of a
like,
sudden they
this
canceled
person's
Aunt
not gonna
Jemima,
family.
and people were like, "What just happened? Why are you canceling my breakfast?"
But this is what happened. Like people.
and what'd you just do? What did canceling
No,
Aunt Jemima
people
do?
cancel everything. People just.
What did it do? It just elevated another corporation. Smash! Ooh, sorry. Smash on the fucking bottle brand.
More canceling, it led to more canceling.
Yes.
Right.
Things that
That's
came-
More canceling led to more corporations. Led to more corporatives.
Yes.
Corporatism. That's what I was trying to say. Where it's
Good
like,
enough.
you know
Good
what
enough.
I'm saying?
Offended,
Like,
unfriended,
okay,
baby.
yeah.
Good enough.
you had the face of for how long?
Yeah.
100 years?
Aunt Jemima's.
You know what I'm saying?
That-
And now all of a sudden, what is it? Fucking something cabinet.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. If Aunt Jemima Brown would just let it fucking go after a while, you think they would get shit right now still?
I kind of get it.
What?
I kind of get
If they didn't do it, they were like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Don't get mad about it. Eventually, people would have got
listen,
pissed off.
problem
Trump's
is
out of
that
office. They would have been fine.
The problem with the Aunt Jemima thing, and
is that white people assumed,
Yes.
white people assumed that it was a depiction of a slave.
This is a great. That
when
was
it
a
was
great
not.
way of
It was a
playing that right
depiction.
no, but it's worse than that because it's a two-part problem.
Go on.
Okay, the first part is they made a decision that they were offended.
Right.
Four people.
4 people.
Right.
So like someone
Which seems to be the
someone's
root of
yo,
everything right
someone's
now.
like, yo, I feel bad for you that you've been looking at this Aunt Jemima bottle.
Yikes.
So I'm gonna take it off for you. I'm like, what?
now. Wow, that's some
Like-
wild shit, right?
Yeah, like I'm like, I didn't even.
The fuck you mean?
I never looked at it like
I
that.
never looked at it that way.
That's just my syrup.
I put syrup. Yeah, like Uncle Ben, what? Like what?
Right.
So that's the first part. The second part, which is even bigger, is that no one like think about this. Just really think about this. A guy gets shot. We're beefing up police brutality. A bunch of people spiral out of control and jump into it, and they're just burning shit down. And some people are protesting about, and people are like, "Oh my God, everyone's upset. What are we gonna do? Change Aunt Jemima."
Cancel Aunt Jemima.
Cancel Aunt Jemima. Like what? Like
Get Uncle Ben off the shelf.
Like I didn't ask for that. Like it's like
Right.
there was a specific problem. There was a specific solution we thought, and they fucking were like, all right,
I just want to be treated the same when I get
like,
pulled
and,
over.
and to me that's just insane.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they just kept doing it because it was one thing after another, like random things that were being changed. Like now I gotta go to Netflix. It's like popular black actors. I'm like, I know who they are. Like, what is this? There's a whole row. Like, you know, it's like their idea of fixing shit is a disaster.
Yes.
It's literally
Well,
like
you
the
hit it.
busboy running the restaurant for a week. Like, like spray bottles everywhere. I'm like, what?
It's an overcompensation.
But it's not. Overcompensation would be like if every school first period was now Black History. I'm like, damn, no, that's an overcompensation.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, it's
You know what
there's
I mean? Like,
there's not enough black CEOs. There's not enough black-owned
It's not even a
businesses.
no, but what I'm saying is
We're gonna take Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben off the
that's what I'm
shelf
saying.
now.
It's not even a compensation because you didn't address one thing I said. Like, not one thing. Like,
Sure.
I came in.
Right,
about-
I see what you're saying.
Well,
It's
we're
not
down with police brutality. There's no more black women on Jam
Yeah,
Islands.
it's like
shit.
It's like
Now
listen,
it's just syrup.
We have an issue with police brutality. There's not enough black people do it. We need more black head coaches here. Da, 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 da. Pancake syrup. Can I interest you in pancake syrup? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Rice.
I could care
What
less.
about rice?
No, like
okay.
I could care like,
rice, you know.
I don't even
Not
understand how I
rice.
even got to that. Like some mastermind went into a boardroom, was like, "How do we get him to calm down?" Aunt Jemima. Like Aunt Jemima. Like how?
That'll seal the deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's insane.
It shut up a lot of white people. That's
No,
not what we wanted.
But what happened
It
was,
made a lot of us stop eating pancakes.
and then
I missed my flapjacks.
and
I have damn near lost a couple pounds.
here
My
you go.
sugar intake went down.
Here you go with your cancel culture again. Then you already had the beef with the conservative and liberals, but then the rise of the woke white people. Like they just fucking came in like, we're here, we're woke, and we're mad. And I'm like, oh shit. And then they created the cancel spin. Like, you can't say that, you can't say that. I'm like, yo, you're
Yeah.
just as bad.
Yeah.
Like you woke up one day out of nowhere and
Woke, correct?
yeah, you woke, and then now you're fucking flipping, shutting everything down. Like,
Yeah.
when it would make more sense to have conversations than to flip people, to shut people down.
Have
her,
have conversations,
like
man.
Gina, I would rather be like, all right, Gina. The reason why that is a difficult thing to say is because
Well, no, the thing with-
Nazi Germany happened. These are how many Jews were killed in the Holocaust.
But you gotta understand about-
this is the experience, and this is why everyone, when they refer to Nazis, this is the emotion that is brought up,
Facts.
and this is why you shouldn't.
Well, the thing with Gina
parallel the
Carano,
two.
Gene, the thing with Gina
That's
Carano,
it.
that was her like 4th or 5th thing that they.
And I'm gonna
that
be
she
honest with
did.
you.
So-
But again, like,
It
hold
sounds
on one
corny.
sec.
Go ahead.
Just put yourself in her position, right? Because, like, what you just said, this is like our 4th or 5th time that
'Cause she's
someone
boxed
said it.
in.
But now, like,
she works
you
at
know,
Disney, man. That's what they want. What do
Right,
they
and
do?
now-
That I agree.
And now,
when
again,
you take the
here,
Disney
here.
money, you should know that.
Sure, but again, now let's factor in everything, and I'm not trying to use anything as an excuse. Like, I hate excuses, right? But factor all of this in. We just went through one of the most tumultuous times as a country.
Correct.
Right? Now you add on top of this, you know, we're coming up to a year of our 2-week lockdowns of coronavirus, right?
Correct.
So add all that on. You can't do anything if you fucking say one thing, or if you speak your mind that might be questioning something of, I don't know, any sort of common sense that they dub as science. It's like you're spatted down, you're shouted out, you're whatever, like you're painted, and then all of a sudden, like you just feel so fucking compressed that you got to say something, and then it's like, well, you can't say that because you work for Disney, and it's like, well, fuck you. You know, like this is real for me. Like
You
this
did
shit
it.
is killing me. You know what I mean? And
You
like,
did it again. You did it for a much smaller paycheck. Actually, for
Ready?
negative paycheck.
Ready?
You really want to get technical?
I'm gonna give you a nice, perfect Gene story. You ready for a Gene story?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am the manager of a casino at this time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you did that.
Yes, I was a manager at a casino. So they hire an idiot manager. Idiot. Fucking idiot. But he had a finance degree. And I remember when they hired him, I'm like, financing.
yes, the piece of paper.
Yeah, I'm like,
Right,
this
right.
doesn't help management. Guy was a moron. Long story short, so I was fanatical about my liquor room. So I had all my bottles, face forward, alphabetical order, blah, blah.
Nice.
This asshole goes in there, and he just fucking puts shit anywhere. And I was like, yo, dude, when the liquor comes in, just leave it. I'll do it myself. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I don't give a fuck. I come in another day, he does it, right? So here's the whole point of the story. He does it a third time. I pick up the phone. He was off. I go, yo, dude, stop touching my fucking shit. You do it one more time, I'm not fucking around. Next day, I was in HR. True story. It's true story. HR goes, and you know how HR, they talk very fucking cryptic and shit. Of
course.
Did you have a conversation? I'm like, get to the point. I'm like, I'll tell you exactly what I told that guy. I said, if he touches my liquor one more time, it's gonna be a problem. He goes, you can't use that type of language. He feels threatened.
He's supposed to.
What? Yes, yeah.
That's
yeah.
why I
That's
said that.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm like,
What do you mean?
yeah, but
Good, I did my job.
Language I was
Yeah.
using the first 2 times wasn't working.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
But my point is, it's a chess match with me and the HR at this point.
Sure.
But I already knew I lost. Because I'm like,
course.
damn it. Because I'm like, fucking guy really called HR. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm owed 2 vacations. I take my severance pay. I took the whole thing in a big loop. I'm gonna just cut me a check. I'm out of here. I was like, I can't work with guys like that. So I left. But my point is, at the phone call,
And you see that right
in the phone
there?
call, I didn't realize
beauty
what I
of
was
capitalism.
doing. And in the phone call, I didn't realize what I was doing. But the moment I got to HR, I understood that I walked all over the minefield and I pushed it too far.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. When these people are in minefields, I know there's a corporate structure in the casino. I know there's an HR office. I know I can't talk to people like that. But if you decide that you've had enough, you're a $1 million actress.
Sure.
You can do it a better way.
You know, Fridays had a corporate structure and an HR, and we just ran rampant with sexual abuse.
You know what it is?
I think I got sexually
Different
abused.
times, bro. Oh, yeah.
It's not just that, but
And it was wonderful.
New York is too.
I think that's how I got my
No,
wife.
like a good sexual abuse.
I think my wife sexually abused me behind the bar.
Oh, without a doubt, you gotta
Now I
the old how's
understand.
your father?
Nah, New York is too big of a market.
She knew.
Restaurant folks,
Corporate,
different
corporate
life.
America could not keep up with New York.
They're like calling
As a
us.
state,
I hear you.
you could not. You know how many stores there were, the dramas. Every manager was fucking.
She's thinking of all the ass slapping. You know what? I
Lots
do
of it.
apologize. That was a younger me. It's very sad. I regret.
A little tappity tap tap.
I don't regret it. I wound up
Tappity
dating.
tap
I wound
tap.
up.
Pat, pat, pat.
I wound up having sexual
See?
intercourse with a
Whoop-de-whoop.
bunch of those women because they like.
See, tappity tap, whoop de whoop. He likes
Scoopity
it.
doop doop.
Scooby doop doop.
Hey, by
right,
the
what else
way,
you got on that
the guy,
card?
the guy uncomfortably sitting in the drum room
On the drum throne? I hear you.
is another third of the Vocal Junkies.
Yes,
this
yes.
This is a third of the Vocal Junkies. We didn't even bring up the Vocal Junkies because you're a piece of shit.
Vocal Junkies.
I just don't want to fuck up your podcast right now.
John,
I'm
just
super
impossible.
excited.
It can't.
I'm
It
excited
can't be
because when
done.
we're done here, we're going to create some beautiful musical fusion with these handsome gentlemen.
Say hi. Just say hi.
a big shout out to James. He's got 2 on the way.
Hey! Congratulations.
In one shot.
Were you trying to
Round of
rhyme
applause.
that or something?
No, did I?
You called him Jane.
No, Johnny James.
You said James. You didn't say James.
James?
You did no.
Mr. James.
Jane.
You said James.
I
think you said
about
James.
Johnny James. No, Johnny James.
Yeah, nah.
He has 2 on the way.
Nice.
Yeah, Jesse went down that road.
Yeah. And I got 1 on the way.
And now,
Do you know what
correct.
you're having yet?
2 boys.
Yeah, congratulations.
your place is fucked.
I
boys.
too
Don't
am
have
having a
anything
boy.
nice in the house.
What's doper than that?
Ask Jesse.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
Make shit not climbable.
I got
That'd
2
be
and
2
2 now.
quarterbacks.
2 boys, 2 girls.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go.
Stacked
Oh my God! I just realized we're gonna have to lock shit up in that fucking studio when we build it because those kids will destroy all of your
They
shit.
will break those fucking ukuleles.
The boys,
They're not
they're
going in
boys.
there. They're not going in
They're
there.
gonna make their
Right,
own
that's what I'm
album.
saying. They're not gonna go in there.
The kids are gonna make their own album.
We're not keeping it in the house.
The kids.
I'm more worried about them
Destroying your
getting
house.
into the wood shop and cutting down the house.
They would, dude.
Dad, I found the sawzall. Hey, don't cut. That's a structural bit. Okay. I didn't even talk to you guys about this real quick because I know we got to wrap it up here. So, the new house that we're moving into was built in 1896. It's an old convent.
The water main running there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that water main
You stop
broke,
that.
bro.
Let me not get in the way.
I had to call the town. I had to call the water
And in
authority.
the middle of all that, you have to let it run, right?
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Dude, you
I will say, shout out to Suffolk County Water Authority
Shout out
because
Suffolk County Water Department.
I will say they got there quick. They got there like within 10 minutes, 10, 15
10
minutes.
minutes? Wow.
Yeah.
This ain't Texas.
It took me about. Well, you see, here's the thing, Gene, is that.
There we go.
Here's the thing, Gene, is that we here in the north we're prepared for weather like that. So we
Broken
have
water mains?
We have snow plows that plow roads.
Yes.
Most people have snow blowers and snow shovels that they clear out their
Thanks,
shit.
Mom and Dad.
You know what I mean? It's because
just got
we normally experience winter weather like that. All right? If I lived in Texas,
What
I
does this
wouldn't
have
have a
to do
snow
with water
blower.
mains?
I'm saying that they were able to get there because our roads were plowed. And you know what?
Oh, is that where you were running down the
I live
side
on a
roads
private road, or the new house is on a private road. So
curveball, that's why.
we don't get plowed by the town. We don't get garbage picked up by the town. All of our mailboxes are down on the public road.
You want me to talk
Motherfuckers
to
got to
them?
come down to
You want me
get
to
their
write a
shit.
letter?
Unless you
And I love
think
it.
JP
That's pretty tough.
and you
I
put your
love it. It's
mailbox.
great.
You put your mailbox on a fucking remote control. You send that shit down. Bring that shit back. Maybe throw your garbage cans on there.
I'll just
How
put
you
it-
doing?
I'll just have my
Keep it
drone
moving.
waiting.
do that,
Hey,
wouldn't he?
Good luck to the drone.
Totally, and it would be
Right back.
operated from his phone.
you
too.
Oh yeah, of course he would.
Dumb
I don't even think JP gets mail.
You're talking about JP
Don't
Musk,
send me paper.
JP Musk here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Most of the paper
Just
that I
think
get,
it. I'll pick it up on my digital pickup device.
any paper that comes in, usually go.
my DPD.
Oh my God.
all,
Yeah,
the,
you get that new DPD implant? What's
all the-
that?
listen.
Yeah, my digital pickup device.
all the paper that comes to me is Mitch Hedberg. Here, you throw this
Yeah,
out.
you throw this out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you throw this out. It's
Yeah, so either way. Yeah, so 1896 this place was built. It's balloon framing on the outside
so it's
and
got
the
the,
inside.
it's got the
It's
Spanish
crazy.
flu in it.
I'm done.
So I said this, right?
hilarious.
So we're ripping down, Gene,
Gross.
ready? We're ripping down beadboard, right? The whole bottom is all old beadboard, right? And we're tearing this shit down and just dust and fucking,
yeah, you're getting
like dirt and just blah, blah,
Yeah, he
blah.
does. He definitely.
Cholera and shit.
One of the
in
guys
there, bro.
that's working with me, he's like, man, it's so dirty. He's like,
That's old school.
he goes, this is like 120 years of people just walking upstairs and like the dirt settling in here. And I go, yeah, you're fucking right. I go, whoo, the Spanish flu was through here, right? Because 100%
Fuck
it
yeah,
was.
bro.
You know, like, I wonder what fucking went through this.
So
this
is
is an old
scurvy.
convent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm worried about when I dig the backyard, like when I start to do that.
Oh yeah, there'll be
Jack
dead
Sparrow
bodies
will
back
be
there.
Gotta be some bodies back there, right?
Jack Sparrow will be back there. All right.
Animals.
Definitely animals.
You're definitely gonna come.
But think about it, an old convent.
Yeah,
No.
Maybe you get
have a
gold
couple of
bars.
Family home.
Oh yeah,
No, maybe,
right.
maybe
you
there'll
got-
be hidden
There's
gold
probably
bars.
money back there.
I
Yo.
want to fucking be there for that.
I say we dig it all.
We will have an
ripped-
excavation party.
Yes.
I ripped the whole house down to
Indiana
studs.
Jones.
Right?
Needs 2 million.
2,700 square foot house down to the studs. Right? I found fucking hidden rooms
Oh shit.
in everything just because of like the old school framing, you know. And then they want conventional walls, so they put chases like 3 foot, 4 foot chases in between the slants and what is the wall now and stuff. And yeah, no, nothing. I didn't find anything cool. Yeah.
I was hoping for like a
Bro,
journal.
every one of them, nothing. That's what I mean. Even in my
At least
house,
a diary.
I thought this was a national treasure, like you had the
Right.
Declaration of Independence.
Right.
I found
Why
some
did this happen
old-
here?
I found some old Cuban coins in the walls of my house, pre-Castro. Like old Cuban coins. I was like, oh, these are dope.
a mob house.
You know, I found
This was a mob
I found
house.
an old pickle brine recipe. Right? This
What?
thing is, I mean, and what it's written on is just like whew,
Of the house you're in now.
my current house.
This is
Yeah,
official
yeah.
parchment.
Yeah, yo, that's what I'm saying. New house, the new house that was built in the 1800s, nothing. Not a fucking thing.
Wow, that is pretty much.
I found raccoon nests and a petrified raccoon that swung out of the ceiling and hit one of my guys in the face.
Shut up.
He was like, I'm done for the day. I'm like, I get it. I get it. You know? It's,
You know
bang!
what? Yeah.
I dealt with a record.
Take some time.
I hope he doesn't get like fucking rabies.
No, I had everyone masked up and stuff. But the second day, once I researched how
Rabies
bad
and something
raccoon
else,
poop
too, I
is,
forgot.
Yeah, all that shit.
I was like, oh, JP would be disappointed in me.
D.
Guys, mask up when we go up here.
So Chappelle's show is back on Netflix.
Back on Netflix. That's why I brought it up.
Power moves, baby. You want to talk about power move?
He's getting paid, right?
Yeah,
Damn right, he's getting paid.
power moves. He was like, take that shit off.
All right, put it
No,
back
actually,
up.
he just said because he had so much power at Netflix, he was able to ask them, "Can you please not do that? Because they're not paying me any money for it."
No, but
Netflix
he
is
asked the fans too.
Yeah, no, he made a big deal of it. Netflix
he
is
made a
like,
big
well,
deal.
I ain't fucking touching this.
Yeah, it's shit
Yeah,
show.
get rid of it. And then
Comedy
it's a great
Central
point,
came around.
And a great point, and I think that was actually probably one of the classiest ways of going about that was like there was this honesty that was a part of it. There was this genuineness that was a part of it. And I think that it actually swayed the way someone felt about it. So essentially Netflix, right? I'm assuming helped out with
they
this.
had a lot of money
They
invested in him.
definitely asked the people, like, listen, if
I
you
think
see
they
it up
just-
there, don't
no.
watch it.
Right.
You know?
They have a lot of money invested in Dave
No,
Chappelle as well.
I agree, but I mean,
JP
I
brought
don't
that
think.
up, and I was like, oh, it's
I don't
gonna
think
kill me. I
Netflix
was
did it
so
for the right
excited to,
reasons.
and I
I think.
respect it. you know?
Sure, sure.
Hold on, well,
No, I don't think Netflix did it for the right reasons. I think they put him on blast. They like Dave Chappelle put them on blast.
But
like,
Netflix is big enough to
I'm
be
not
like-
getting paid, and then people are like Netflix because when you think of Netflix, you think about how
That
much
is a
money they
fair
are.
point,
You think about the
too.
stock. You like as
Also,
a
keep in
customer, you're like
mind-
that's wrong.
Well, but anyone
But
that
Dave Chappelle-
understands
But
the way it works,
Gene-
Genes, understands that
Yeah.
it's not Netflix's problem. That's Comedy Central's fault.
And
That's
Dave
Comedy
Chappelle,
Central.
and
But
Dave
that-
Chappelle
right.
signed
So
that contract.
Netflix is big enough to be like,
Exactly. What they did
We
is
don't care.
We can afford
They
this. It's not a
did
big
it
deal.
for
But
him.
I don't feel like they
They-
did it.
I 100% believe they
I
did
think
it
was
for
a-
him.
I think it was a great PR move. Like that was a PR
Yeah,
move of
of
a
course,
lifetime.
of course.
Like we gave Dave Chappelle back his rights.
That's some like Eminem
So
branding.
what did the particulars
well,
turn out to
Netflix
be?
didn't give it back. Netflix had nothing to do with it. They did it for Dave
They did it
Chappelle.
for Dave Chappelle,
Right.
Which is great
And then
because
Comedy Central came along
they
with
took a shot at a public television
Well, I mean, think about it. If you're Netflix, think about how much money Dave Chappelle generated for them
when he came back.
when he came back.
I agree with
He
you.
didn't come back to HBO Max.
That's what I'm
came
saying.
back and released that shit on
That's what
Netflix.
I'm saying.
You know, like,
It's a
So
great
definitely,
marriage.
you scratch mine, I
No,
scratch
you did the right
yours.
thing. They have a great marriage.
You know, one of those.
Fuck you to
You know,
Comedy
one of
Central.
those.
Fuck you, Comedy
Yeah, but
Central.
Comedy Central's washed up.
I think one of those was a few years old, and he got millions for it.
Which one?
One of
One
those
of his
specials
specials,
was
yeah.
done already. He just
Yeah,
didn't release
just
it,
didn't
and they
release
were
it,
like,
yeah.
"We'll take it." And he, how much you want to give me? It's done. Yeah, sure.
See you
Yeah,
later.
Take
get
it.
one ready to go.
Amazing. What do you
Do you know
got?
the particulars before you go into the next thing? What
Go
was
on.
the particulars of the agreement? Did he?
I
get
don't know
no
the
of it, some
particulars.
of it, just something that was
I think
new?
the
think you got a
Chappelle show
piece
was
of it,
owned
right?
by Comedy Central.
Yes, and they weren't paying.
It was an early.
shit.
That's right,
It was
that's
an
right.
early contract.
Now there's an argument.
and then
There's the argument of
they sold it, and so they sold it, but I guess Dave Chappelle didn't put. It's an old contract.
Yeah.
So it's like he would have wanted them to renegotiate, being that he's a lot bigger now than when he signed that. And it's you gotta look at it both sides. Like Comedy Central, like I have the right to sell this. I owned it. We did this.
Right. It's a contract's
It's just
a
that we
contract.
love Chappelle, and Chappelle went to the fans.
It
and
shocks
he
me-
Knew he would win.
It shocks me that Chappelle doesn't have his own like some like sort of like publishing house or
was back in-
you know
oh, yeah, I agree.
distribution.
He probably does
company
now.
Now that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
he probably even him buy that shit back from fucking Comedy Central and release it.
Oh, by the way,
himself.
not to
And
go-
split it with Netflix. You know, like,
Not to go backwards, but that Gina girl, there's a fundraiser for her to do her
Yeah,
own
that's through
movies.
Ben Shapiro's.
Yeah, they're
thing.
gonna fund a movie.
They're
I
doing
forgot
a
about
movie
that.
with her.
They're gonna do a movie with her, so she still wins. Which is why
cool.
go back to the base. Go back
Tell
to
you
the
I
what,
don't know if she's gonna win off.
74 million people
She
will
is.
probably go
Yeah,
watch
if
that
she does
shit.
an independent movie, people are gonna watch it just
Just
for-
to say
for the
fuck
message.
you.
That's
That's what I'm saying.
That's
This
it.
is what Hollywood's missing out on too. There's a large market there in the concert. Like 74 million people voted for Trump.
Literally half the country
No,
voted.
no,
on
no,
Trump.
no. Half
quarter.
the people that
Quarter.
voted.
Half
half the people that voted.
Alright.
Because half the people took a
Easy
nap.
on half the
I brought
country.
them down this road.
Yeah, half the people
It
took
was
a
like
nap.
174 million people voted. There's
Correct.
330 million people in America.
Maybe more now.
So the rest of those people are like, yeah, you guys are fucking crazy. I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
I'm out. I got another little tidbit one. I like this one. I wanted to talk about it. I think I brought it up off air, but like it just I don't know. When I heard the story, it was an Anthony Mackie, the dude who plays Falcon. Just so you guys
I
know,
like that guy,
he's
right.
also the guy that played. I think it was Papa Doc, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, what?
On 8 Mile.
that's the
In 8
same
Mile.
guy.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
okay.
So he played Papa Doc, and it turns out that final battle scene
What's real?
with Eminem. Eminem looked up everything about Anthony Mackie. So all that shit you're hearing about Papa Doc is actually about Anthony Mackie. And he had no idea it was going to happen. So Eminem did a whole beat battle, like his part of the battle was making fun of actual Anthony Mackie.
That's interesting.
And he
I didn't
added
pick up.
to
A
the
lot of it
Papa
was
Doc.
Clarence.
Yeah.
Clarence's parents.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
So his real name is he went to a private school. This is all about Anthony Mackie,
I'm not
and
gonna
it
lie,
wasn't
Eminem
about
always posts
Papa
another
Doc.
one.
Oh,
It is
shit.
still.
I understand
Yes.
now.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Very, very cool.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I still think that battle is that ending battle is one of, just as a battle rap fan myself, you know, it wouldn't go over well in
A real battle.
a
rap.
real battle.
Yeah.
But like for the screen, that shit was dope. Like
was
I'm
good
gonna
for
rip myself apart, so you got nothing to
Well,
say.
there's also that older style of battling too.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
And I kind of, not that I don't appreciate, don't get into the style of battling that's out now, but no matter how you slice it, if you have not been a part of it since day one, you're missing a lot of those lines. There's a lot of these double and triple entendres that are from the history of the actual league or organization itself.
Sure.
And I feel like we're actually at a point now where if you're just jumping in now, if you're kind of getting into
kinda
it,
miss.
so caffeine comes across our phone every once in a
Yeah,
while,
yeah,
like that. You know, we're kind of missing some of these punchlines.
Right, like if you haven't been a part of it for the last decade,
Yeah.
it's like its own soap opera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Essentially,
yeah.
you know, like
because they know because there's a
they know
backstory.
each other. Like I'll bring something up to Gene because Gene was I wouldn't say he was a big battle fan, but
No, I liked
at
it.
one
I liked
point,
it.
like you know, around the days of Lux, like
Yeah,
we
I
were
love
able to
Lux.
talk,
Yeah.
you know, battle. Now it's like I still am very much into it where. It's like, yo, did you see this fucking, you know, Roan came
kidding me?
back and
You-
that shit was crazy. And he's
You,
like,
you kept Pat stay alive.
I did, yo, I
Yes.
kept Pat stay
You kept
alive.
Pat
for
stay
me.
alive.
Those guys are so articulate and intelligent. Those the new battle rap that's
Yeah.
out now.
Oh yeah.
Some of those punchlines that go right over my head, and then they'll let me slow it down. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, every fucking thing you
Yo, that's hilarious. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, think about it.
break
Like,
it down. I'm like, oh my God, that has 7 different meanings.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Those
You
motherfuckers.
just
Yeah.
smoked
That's
him.
true.
You
Conceited
just
is great,
smoked
like
him.
with that shit.
I wonder
Like,
how long they
Conceited
take
had
to
one
write
of the
that
best
shit.
ones where it was something like, you know, we'll come up in your church, something, and like you'll bow your heads while you amen, and it was something like, you know, and then
I heard this one.
let me slow it down, and it's like, you know, we come up in your church with these. We have you bowing heads while
Yeah,
we're aiming,
aiming, yeah.
you know, and it's like, and he does like those.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's so
insane,
good.
yeah,
Like I
it's
love
amazing.
shit like
I think that was
I
on one of the
totally-
reaction
that
videos.
Wordplay
And I agree with
is.
you. I wonder how long
Oh,
was on the
yeah,
reaction.
Yeah, I wonder how long they write that. That takes
That
forever.
you
Not really. I mean, I'll be honest
No
with you. That
way.
shit comes to
There
you
was
quick.
one I saw with
Think about
the
it.
guy's brother, and then they choreographed with the brother, and then the brother was in the thing, and
he runs
he's like,
in and-
he runs into it. I'm like, what, you got to practice that? Like,
Yeah.
you
Oh
have,
yeah, like Hitman.
there's no way you can
Oh,
just.
definitely, bro. The shit's rehearsed.
Yeah.
Think about it. Pat Stay got set up in his battle against Marv 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was mad tensions and shit because during a Marv 1 battle, Marv said something while Pat was in the crowd and Pat was drunk, so he made a fucking, a big scene like, yo, we'll fucking go outside right now, Marv, and like, so whatever. The Marv 1 Pat battle was like a lot of heat, a lot of tension. And this is like right when Pat started becoming kind of like the villain,
Yeah.
he was getting kind of vilified, like in King of the Dot there. And he came at Marv 1's autistic brother. And it was fire fucking lines, But one of the Canadian guys, Bishop,
Autistic. Sound like you said artistic.
autistic.
Yeah.
One of the Canadian judges, this guy Bishop Brigante, who was like part of the organization, heard, because Pat was like, "Yo, these are the rounds I got for Marv," and then he told Marv, he's got his first round is loaded with shit about your brother. So Marv wound up flipping his first and being like, "This is who I am," and pretty much
Eminem did.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I forgot what the whole point of that was, but that's one reason why I fucking love Pat, is that whole shit. Like, he got vilified and was just like on some bullshit and was able to turn it around and became like arguably one of the best battle rappers right now.
shit.
Well, I'm happy for those guys because they made a way. Like, we never knew what they were gonna do, and then the knock on them was they could never make Billboard hits, and they were never gonna make songs.
That's right.
And then they just kept plugging at it. Now they have sponsorships.
Well, I mean, just being a battle rapper in itself.
It's a job, yeah.
Like, there you go. Here's not to bring up Pat Stay again, but Pat Stay versus Shotgun Suge. Like, that was one of the best battles in recent times of URL, right? Because Shotgun was like, you know,
He was hot.
he was hot at the moment. But Shotgun's whole thing is like, what's your life like? And he goes through about how his struggles, right?
Yeah.
Like, you live this cookie cutter life, and I'm on the street corner, and I'm fucking hustling, and I have to avoid shots. What's your life like, right? And Pat Stay just flipped that shit, and he goes, you get paid $10,000 a battle, and you battle like 7 times a year. That's
threw that out there like
$70,000.
that?
He
Oh,
broke them
wow.
down. He goes, that's $70,000 off of battles alone, plus sponsorships, all of your endorsement deals, all of your merch sales. He goes, you're living a good life, Suge. Anyone in here would trade places with you. You know, like that what's your life like shit is done.
Wow.
And it was just like, yo, when you break it down like that, you're making $70,000 off of battle rap alone.
That's fucking
You know what I
amazing.
mean? That's literally 7 performances. Not saying it doesn't take a lot to prep for that. You know, like
doesn't matter.
as
It's
writers,
still
you know,
worth
like
it.
that takes a minute. You want to construct 3-round battles of
You're
some
gonna need
fire.
you up your game a little bit more because facts are is that you're actually doing pretty decent, my
You're
man.
doing good,
Yep,
exactly.
sorry. Yep.
Yo, someone's
Yeah.
paying
Mike
me 10
Madison
G's
right
for
here.
a battle.
I didn't
This
Right,
thing
every
moves. I don't know why he
day.
just doesn't move it back with him. Just go like, oh, look at that. He's got 4 of them in his vocal booth, and the fucking guy doesn't know how to use them.
Speaking of writing, I can't wait to get in.
We
into
got
some
something.
shit
Yes,
that
we're
you
gonna
got.
get to. So
Plans for
let's do a Rushmore. Any ideas?
Let's make a quick, let's do a quick Rushmore.
Okay, I don't know what a Rushmore is.
We ranked,
excited about it. You're like, oh,
Well, I thought
We
you were
do
gonna
Rushmore
no,
rankings.
we ranked something. We ranked
Right?
the top 4.
Top
Okay.
4.
of
any
something. You have any ideas that you'd like to rank? No, he
I
doesn't.
got something.
Clearly-
Just because Kel's here,
It's gonna be lyricists.
it's gonna. Well, ooh.
What? No.
I wasn't gonna say that.
This is
I was
always a
gonna
war
say-
zone, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's the
Lyricists.
top 4 Rushmore of influential hip hop albums?
Albums.
Albums,
I like that
not
one
songs,
too.
not artists. Albums.
influential albums.
Yeah.
All right.
What would be the 4
like it.
most influential hip hop albums of our time?
Okay, so am I going first?
Yeah.
All
Give me
right.
one.
Well, we all
So,
got to agree.
we
on
are-
it.
Oh,
This
we
is-
have to-
yeah. This is.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right, so influential album of all time, or yeah, that category, that whole thing there, right? Yikes. There's a.
You said hip hop? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I need to preface more. What are we deeming as influential? Is this influenced the times? This set a trend? This changed something? This began
like-
the road to changing something?
Of course, Mike Kelly.
Somebody became aware of something because of
I love
this,
it.
or that kind of stuff.
So, what the most influential albums?
I don't
that
know why.
had-
I
ooh,
keep
yeah,
thinking
that's-
about
you
Me
know what,
Against
now
the
that
World
he's
by
making me-
Tupac. I keep thinking about Me Against the World by Tupac because that one particular album was post Strictly and post the other one with Brenda's Got a Baby,
Okay.
right? And it was before he went to the West Coast, all right? So Me Against the World, he was in prison. Suge went and got him out. He went to the West Coast, and he kind of went back to that. So Me Against the World was like this one album that was what you were just explaining just now with he was doing much better. And so he got a bit more introspective on things that were going
Content
on.
and shit, yeah,
yes.
sure.
And then but then when you went to Death Row, they were just like, yeah, no, we need you to get back to that.
To that gangster
You know,
shit,
and
yeah.
so he kind of he
'Cause that's
snuck
what
in a
sells,
couple
yeah.
here and there and stuff like that. So for some reason during this whole thing, even while I was asking for more of a description, Me Against the World pops out.
That's a good one. I like that. That's
Me
Yeah.
Against the World sticks out.
I mean, I think it's.
is tough.
I feel like the Chronic's got to be on there because that just essentially changed.
That made me
hip-hop.
like hip hop even more.
like
I mean, I liked it,
That
but
album is incredible.
that. like the production of
It's the
those beats,
production,
how
yeah.
they were
That's
able to
right.
fuse the styles and implement that kind of
well, if we're
that
talking
West Coast gangsta image, but with that still laid back West Coast.
nice
vibe.
cars, hot women, still angry.
Yeah.
So influential then in that kind of sense would actually be H to the is O, V to the,
Yes.
because that album was the first
Is
time
that
people
with
heard
Annie?
Kanye.
Yeah, but is that with the Annie sample?
No, that's
no.
that's
That's-
volume 1.
because I feel like
Annie's not volume.
Volume
Annie's
two.
Hard Knock 2.
Yeah,
Hard Knock
yeah.
Volume
Annie
2.
is Hard Knock. Yeah.
that's
Knock
'cause-
Life.
Yeah, that's the album that.
Imaginary Plays is volume 1.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow.
The one with Hard Knocks Life, because that song
I still
itself,
think
That was
like-
DMX
that
record
song was a
too.
big.
that song
culture
itself
changer.
brought him back into because he tried to do and
He
he
tried
was
to
on
like
that
Diddy.
one.
He tried to dance like
to do
Diddy.
the Diddy thing, that one video where they're all in shiny suits dancing.
It didn't work. That,
But
What
I'm
did
saying,
Dame
like,
Dash say? He was
what
like,
is
I was
that-
miserable.
What is that East Coast
I was
record
miserable.
that brought it back? You
East
know,
Coast?
what was that East Coast record that
Juicy.
brought it back? You think so? You think it was Juicy?
I think Juicy.
That
I
took
think-
the spotlight off of the West Coast.
I think that I don't think it took the spotlight off of the West Coast. There wasn't. There wasn't attention.
Because it's certainly
at
a
that
style
time.
clash. Yeah, I don't mean it like
we've
that.
always been
but, like-
biased. I know where he's going because I agree with him. I think that we've
Like I'm
always
saying,
been
what's the
biased.
record
So
that defined
we
West
heard
Coast
West
hip-hop?
Coast, but we were like, oh, that's the hottest thing.
Like you listen to
I
a
think-
Mobb Deep track and you're like, that is New York hip
Oh
hop.
man,
To be honest with you,
Like-
Survival of the Fittest, I think, was a big deal.
For the
That
West
was-
Coast, that's Tupac and Snoop Dogg, two of
Sure.
America's Most Wanted. I think that record and California Love, those are West Coast.
That brought it back, I think, to
that
the
definitely brought
yeah.
it back for sure. And when Drake dropped,
But that was,
2001 really brought them back. When
Oh,
they
yeah,
hit,
that's all eyes on
when
me.
they had Still Dre, and you were like, oh shit, nobody's
yeah.
fucking with this beat
Yeah,
right here.
yeah.
So where are we going with this one? So Juicy?
I think
For an East Coast bring back or influential?
Well, I mean, like I'm saying, like
Decent.
whole album. You know, like that's what we was saying, right? Like, what's the most influential
So
album?
influential. Okay.
Right.
So then
Right.
you know you have your now. The reason why I said that.
No, because you were right. Because I mean, I'm trying to think what album was that Juicy record on?
it was on Ready to Die.
Ready to
It was
Die.
on Ready to Die, which again, that's arguably a
very good album, yeah.
influential album.
No,
in
it's
the
definitely
course
a
of
classic,
hip-hop.
classic album.
You gotta remember.
Album and Nas. it was
Nas
written-
Illmatic.
See,
or
but like,
it was
does
written, that's
Nas?
always an argument
I'm
between
literally,
those,
I'm
you know?
specifically
Yeah.
not saying Nas because we're talking about like influential stuff. Like, we
see
all
what
know
you're saying.
Nas
No, but
is fire.
it was written, changed.
Nas is definitely in the top
No, but
five.
it was written, changed. It made everybody step their game up. Like Jay-Z
Yeah, but it's
had
like
to work harder.
it's
so
like the
did Biggie.
Jay-Z changed.
Nas made them
He
work harder.
So like Jay-Z, this is what I always say. I think Jay-Z picked off where Big L left off. Right, he picked up where Big L left
Talking
off.
about the money,
left
the
off
spending,
with
the
that
flamboyance.
glam, that flamboyant
Flamboyance, yeah.
rap, you know.
Fair
And
enough.
that changed the game because we had an entire.
That's a great point.
Yeah, but I feel.
generation
Yeah, but
of
Diddy was already.
flamboyant rap.
But
you
Diddy
know,
was
like
already on it.
Cash and
Diddy was already on it.
yeah, but
those
I mean,
Biggie
I'm saying,
albums.
without a Big L, do you even have a Diddy? You know, do you even have that? Are we
No,
going in
I
that,
think
or is
Biggie-
Diddy hard? Is Diddy back on the street corner and not talking about, you know, the money he's got, the jewels?
yeah,
that he's
the
got, you
R&B.
know?
No, but Biggie was
going
always
on.
like. I mean, Diddy was a.
It was always like that.
He was always a problem.
Right.
He was always too flashy, because you got to
Good
remember.
topic. This is
Sure.
this is
Influential,
definitely
you have to-
influential. Is what changes
He was flashy
the
too.
scope of the
At all.
conversation.
Then you have
When he
to
managed
mention
Jodeci,
Eminem with the
is when he
Slim
was
Shady
flashing.
album.
All right, so that's
not
an
the most influential album.
that's
of
an
all
influential
time.
album.
It's definitely in the. I mean, that
No, I
was going to
think-
be my last
Top
one. I was
three.
going to.
I would
but
do
that
that,
specifically
so.
was
Top three.
influential as far as like awareness and I don't know. It definitely changed. The
Eminem-
whole, the
Eminem-
whole
hip-hop to
the
the
United
suburbs.
States stopped for a second. Like,
Yes.
we're like what?
Yes.
You know. So that was in.
No, Eminem's album.
It
and
brought
this is-
hip-hop to the suburbs.
This is what happened with the Facebook post. Eminem's album allowed the subject matter of a hip hop album to be different because everybody sounded the same until a guy was
Oh,
like,
right, that post
my
we were
daughter,
involved in, yeah.
my girlfriend, my mom. Everything else was guns, drugs, something crazy. And Eminem's like, nah, I got.
But he also talked
I got
about different
problems.
He talked about different
Yeah.
drugs. He talked about different
Yeah.
drugs in hip hop. He talked
Yeah.
about
Talked about them suburb shit.
Yeah,
he talked about mushrooms.
He changed the whole subject.
You know what I mean?
Talking about stealing Klonopins from your
Yeah.
mom's closet or you
And-
know, Hodava
and guess
sets
what?
and, you know, like
And I'm gonna tell you right now, he and also Eminem laid the blueprint.
that suburb shit.
He laid the blueprint for trolling. All this fucking Christina Aguilera and
Sure,
he was
sure,
the ultimate troll. I'm like, why does he do that?
This is a really great. You're breaking it down right now. You're
yeah,
breaking it
he
down
laid
right
the
now.
foundation for trolling. Like,
So Slim Shady is definitely one of them. That Slim Shady
100%.
EP's on there.
You broke that down.
Yeah. Now,
Right, you had
influential-
a lot to do with where things went. Even
see-
50 is a whole
Yes.
trajectory
Oh, man, get rid
of
of
hip
yes,
hop.
yes.
You know,
But you gotta look at-
whole trajectory,
right?
yeah.
But don't you got to look at like because Rakim changed the way hip hop flew.
All right,
The flow.
so, yeah.
The
See,
See, now
flow of
Rakim's not the
hip-hop.
best album, but he
No,
when you
but
talk about
his
lyricists
flow.
and artists, he wouldn't make top 5, 4. Like he wouldn't make Rushmore, but he's definitely like top 5.
But he
top
definitely
10.
was post 80s.
Yes,
Right,
he's a big deal.
He
He's a
changed.
transition, yeah.
He
No,
changed the
he's
flow
big.
of
We're
hip hop.
talking. We're talking
and how
about
you
like
rap.
something like
like Big Daddy
T.I.,
Kane.
right? Like I don't love T.I., but you have to acknowledge T.I. for
'Cause he pretty much-
he gave us trap. He gave us in a
You always
genre
say that. I
of
tell you, I
music.
always.
But he did. Like
I feel like Ti is.
That's also self-proclaimed. There are
exactly.
arguments.
Ti does what Jada does. Top 5, and then he just pounds it in your head.
all right. but
And I'm
my
not
point is this.
taking away from them, but like T.I., let me tell you something. T.I., his legacy is intertwined. I always say this. It's intertwined with Ludacris.
With Luda. I was about to say
refuse
that.
to
Yeah.
separate the two.
Okay.
Because they both came out like
That's fair.
chicken and beer, and I'm just like, you know.
That's like
fair.
Fabulous and Jadakiss. They're, as far as I'm concerned, because when they were both like big, when I was,
Fab-
and this is coming as just a regular listener, not like a hardcore listener. To me, that was one. That was one
Fab's
period of
legacy-
time.
How could you even say that?
One
Fab's
period of
legacy-
time. It's one period.
I love Fab.
You know, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
But his legacy
It's one
is just
period in time.
independence. He was independent.
His
what you're
legacy
saying
was
there.
the
They're both
girl
big
joints.
and blew
His
up.
legacy was being able to make the female
Yeah,
records.
he was Drake before Drake. He was
And
Drake
now,
before
now
Drake.
you're going
Yeah.
into Ja Rule land too.
Nah, but now you're going into LL Cool J land.
I agree.
Also
And
going-
LL Cool J gets
LL Cool
robbed
J was
every
the-
conversation.
yo.
He's so right. LL Cool J
Yo.
gets
It took him a while to get there, but you're
every
right. Yeah, it took him a while.
Every conversation he gets.
99% of your hands were high hells.
Didn't Rick Rubin have his hand in that LL Cool J record?
First one, most likely.
He
Yes,
did, right?
yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
I mean, again, there's one too.
he found
because
LL Cool J.
And you gotta remember too.
that LL Cool J
LL
record changed, like
L-
brought that
LL gave you the ladies.
rap. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like that love is
LL gave you the ladies, and he also gave you that little, almost that battle rap feel.
He gave you Rock the Bells. You
Yeah.
get Mama Said Knock You
You
Out.
out,
You
like-
know, I
and
think
then
that was
Milky
the fun.
cereal. What's up?
Gave you I Need Love.
Milky cereal, baby, Milky.
Hey, lover. Hey,
No, guys. Hey,
that's some rap.
Milky cereal.
Now LL, no.
That's the best name for
All
an
right,
album, for
here
a
it
rap song ever.
Where it is.
Milky
Where's
cereal.
the box?
Word.
Wrap it up, yo.
I don't know.
Okay. We only got Slim Shady EP for the most. He mentioned some fucking Tupac album I
it's
never
Me
heard
Against the
of.
World.
Me Against the World.
Be real
I'm
with
still,
you.
I'm
Yep,
still
yep.
with that. I'm still with the Chronic
I
too.
get- I
so
can
we need
understand,
an
though,
East
how-
Coast record though.
I can understand how that album actually doesn't make. I understand what influential means now. Not trying to influence, but actually influence.
Influence.
Correct.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't put that in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Chronic for
Definitely
sure.
Take that back. Eminem
Slim
is
Shady,
good.
which is ironic. They're intertwined,
I would say
linked
You
because
have
of Dre.
Hypnotized by Biggie.
No,
also.
yeah, no. These are obviously those are all
NWA.
like you want to
You
throw out
forget
all your known
NWA.
stuff. I don't want to put Chronic in there.
NWA.
Actually, NWA was.
I would put NWA
Maybe
before
Chronic
Chronic
for
because
sound, the
they
way
blew
the
up.
sound
They
happened.
they cemented it and then they split up.
Chronic was influential.
Okay,
It's
Chronic
Chronic-
enters into the thing because of the top end
Production.
of that record. Literally EQing the top end.
The sounds, the
It
funk.
changed the way hip hop came after that because he was the first person to put clarity on his high end. He actually enhanced the sound and brought it.
Sure.
So I can mess
But
with
the
that.
sounds
West
he
Coast
used,
funk,
those high
but with a
notes.
gangster-
Not even
Yes.
genre.
You know?
Not even genre. He literally was not scared to hit the highs and go up and put a little bit of clarity. Before that, we were getting a bit more of a warmer recording, a rougher recording. A lot of that hip hop. I mean, a couple of
sampled a
Biggie's
lot,
records
yeah.
were done off of a 57, handheld 57 in the basement, off of a
that.
DJ mixer. So these, definitely Chronic was more. I'm in the studio and I'm it really was.
So now-
So I mess with that.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'm not that hard.
See that from that other
No,
side?
that's what I'm saying. Now he's making me think about productions of other
Sure.
But
albums.
I mean, what about NWA with Straight Outta Compton?
That's what I told him. I think NWA.
I think it goes on.
I
there.
mean, I'm holding on to my
100%.
last one.
That changes rap too. That turns
Yeah, no.
into gangster rap.
That's
100%.
100%.
Not even gangster rap, but definitely the facade was shown of we have freedom of speech, but if
Yes.
you're not getting down with our general vibe, we're going to pressure you for it, and you're going to have to fight for your freedom.
So what you're saying right now to me is Dr. Dre is one of the most influential people in hip hop ever.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Just because you mentioned NWA, you ain't going to
Eminem.
Chronic and then Eminem, who he found. like-
Which then brings me to my last one.
And if you did
Which
top
brings
5
me
or
to
top
the
10,
last
50
one.
Cent
Like,
would be
how
there.
is College Dropout not in there?
And that was my last one.
Specifically, and I know you're cringing on this one, but
I do love College
specifically-
Dropout.
for
Specifically
for recency.
for this last decade.
But can I tell you why?
Just because College Dropout has influenced so many of the younger, new
Recency.
kids.
I agree
And
with
we
you.
learned this
With
from
John Bellion.
We learned it not only from John Bellion, but just from a lot of the reactions that we've done and like the newer things that we've had to watch. Like you look, a perfect example of John Bellion. College Dropout was a huge influence on him.
It was a great album.
And that dude has number ones all over the chart.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I see where he's
As a
gonna go
writer,
with this.
yeah.
I think the College Dropout, as good of an album as it is, like as far. It's touched people, but the actual records, the lasting impact of those records, I don't really.
You don't think
Not the way I used to.
Drake was more of an influence for recency?
Drake? No, Drake is the
Recency.
Again,
Drake is a culmination of Young Money, the whole thing. It all fucking landed perfect. It's like
Something
Lil
allowed-
Wayne, the money, the shit,
Something
the
allowed
that.
for that emotional rap, right? Where that has it's very restful in your instrumentals, like those NF style, beats, those very emotional.
Drake.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you think that.
But Ja Rule had that done.
That
It's just
equates-
Ja Rule got into
talking about, but Ja Rule's
still
Ja
has
Rule
that
had it
pocket.
done,
I'm saying like
bro.
when that pocket's gone.
Dude, Ja
And
Rule.
it's just
if
that.
Ja Rule never beats with 50 Cent, he'd be a diamond rapper. Diamond.
Maybe.
No,
I
it's
always
a
liked
fact.
Ja.
It's a
Maybe,
fact.
yeah. I
Ja
always liked
Rule
Ja
had it
Rule.
on Shutdown.
Yeah,
Shutdown.
like you gotta remember every
I was
single-
always a Ja Rule
every
fan.
single
And he had
song
hooks.
Murder Inc. had it for
that
a
you heard in
couple
a
years.
bar.
Yeah.
Not just in the radio, in a bar was him and J Lo, him and some
Veni
Ashanti,
Vidi Vici?
him and some girl. It's always him and some girl. It was annoying. He was everywhere. Why do you
was.
think 50 Cent was annoyed? That's exactly what pissed him off. That's exactly what pissed him off. He's like, this guy's everywhere. I'm gonna stop this.
Now,
What's our
50
last one?
Cent.
If you
50
guys aren't going to agree on College Dropout,
50 Cent could be. See, the reason why 50 Cent could be.
I would take
Honest, because he-
Get Rich or Die Trying over College Dropout.
And-
And I'm a
and here-
big Kanye fan.
And here's why.
I would take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Because he's the last of that
created
era,
the
too.
mixtape. He made the mixtape era go through the fucking
Sure.
roof.
Who's this?
50 Cent.
Uh-huh.
He made it because of
Yeah.
mixtapes.
And then Joyner Lucas took
he
it and ran.
was. Yes, he was the reason why mixtapes
Yeah, no,
became
I'll give you guys that. I could concede to Get Rich Die Trying.
Because I think that was I think that's a
go with that
decent
too.
bridge to recency.
Sure.
You know, the
And
rap
again,
style
Dre.
changed.
And again, Dre. So there you go. All four is Dre.
Fuck me, man.
Unreal.
I thought that was more Eminem though, which I mean intertwines to
No,
Dre, but
that's a Dre.
Eh,
Because
Shady,
you gotta remember,
Aftermath. Shady
in the club,
Aftermath,
in the
that's-
club is Dre.
beat wise, you
Be
said.
white. In the club is Dre, and that record
It
did.
screams Dre.
All right, so the foremost influential albums are just Dre. Just fuck it, Dre.
Anything by Dr. Dre.
Fuck me, fuck you, fuck Dre.
Now you make me feel bad because we're gonna have to come back and do this with producers.
And then Eminem
Yeah.
said,
We're gonna- 'cause-
forget about
'cause
Dre.
Dre.
Because you're telling me
Timbo.
Timbaland is that Timbaland
I'll
is
do
a good
producers
album.
one day.
We do producers.
Yeah, we're gonna
shit.
come back with
We
producers.
probably should have did that with since.
Yo, that was
we'll have Kel back on.
dope breakdown of everything.
We're gonna
We'll have
have you
Kel
back
back on and we'll do producers.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because
I'm
It
in.
doesn't even have
now
to
you
be
got me
hip hop
thinking.
producers.
You got me
just
thinking about
producers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Pharrell.
All right, everyone. Well, that was episode 25. I think.
Phew, in the bag.
Quarter way there, baby. Let's
go.
To that century
It was
mark.
a pleasure.
Big thanks to my man Kel.
That's right.
For gutting out of breath on his rant.
Dude, that was classic.
Man, he was
that
breathing.
Amazing.
Motherfucker was
was an
wheezing
epic rant.
through that one.
That was an epic rant.
Shouts out Vocal Junkies.
And this is why you stay out of politics, people. Because you
Your
get
music.
out of breath.
Let's go.
Your music, baby. Vocal Junkies. Got Johnny James here. There's Chad Chadwick roaming around the halls doing his thing.
Backpack somewhere.
His backpack's here.
We're gonna get into some funky shit today. So,
Yo, we're about to make some
my
shit.
man, thank you so much for hanging out,
Chad
My
is
pleasure.
He's
chopping it up with
He's
us.
practicing crowd surfing in
Yeah.
the corner.
And we out.